Hello, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Got another exciting, rare Saturday morning, afternoon stream coming at you from the V1 HQ here in North Texas. Happy to have everybody on board that's turning out today on a Saturday. Typically don't stream on Saturday. Big football fan, love college football, love pro football. Not any real good games on this in the early morning window. So I said, you know what, I could sit around in the house and deal with a couple screaming kids, or I can come back to the office and do a live stream with PVA. So somebody asked a question in the last stream I did yesterday saying that, hey, what's a good way to find good routes and stuff to do historical routes for the 310? Well, Piedmont Virtual Historical Group, which I got a link in the description if you want to check them out. It is a VA airline. We'll talk a little bit about it in cruise, but we are operating this real-world throwback flight from Miami, Florida, down to MROC, San Jose, Costa Rica, in none other than the Clipper. Today, our call sign is Clipper 421 on our way down there. We are on VATSIM, no ATC networks online, which is good, so hopefully we don't have to worry about any of that. I did mess around with this airplane on VATSIM and the members-only after party last night after the stream yesterday, which was a lot of fun. So I appreciate everybody who turned out for that. That was a good time. So thank you all for who's tuned in today. Fubar's in the house. Jeremy Harvey, Anthony Teal, Mickey D, Chuck Blake, Alex 5150, Digital Merc, Callie Simmer. What's up, man? Chris Run. What's going on, man? Good to see you. It's a cold day here in Texas, man. Freaking cold up here. It was like 40. No, it was like 30 something degrees this morning, like low 30s. Crazy. Mateo Chewy's in the house from Campsite. Good to see you, man. Dedication at its finest. Tranquil Breeze, Tizzle, Stephen Hayner, man. Whole chat screen. Pax 12. Pax 217, Kyle Ferris, and many more. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Toga, thanks for the support, man. V1, glad I could catch your stream today. Hey, man, glad to have you on board today. It's going to be a good flight. We have a nice long cruise. We can talk about history. We can talk about this airplane, cabin tours, all that fun stuff. Alpha Mike, thank you for your continued support, sir. Finally get to catch one live. Yes, sir, indeed. So let's get the airplane booted up and get ready to go. I've been messing around with GSX, and believe it or not, it does do what it needs to do. So I'm going to just go ahead and request boarding now because it takes forever because it doesn't know how many people it needs to load up, but because I don't have a GSX profile yet. But it still brings like the luggage, the ULDs and all that stuff, so it's still kind of fun to see that. So they're going to start getting to work on the outside of the aircraft. We are going to start getting the airplane fired up, and I want to show you guys what we're rocking today. So I'm not using any charts on the screen that you're going to see, but VAMSys, part of the PVA virtual airline, has everything I need to know, right? So I've got my booking here. We are Miami to San Jose. We've got the ACARS. I had to restart my sim, so that's why that's on there. My whole flight plan is located right here. We've got map with real world weather. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful flight all the way down there. Not really a cloud in the sky. So it should be a beautiful day down there, and I think it's going to be a great little flight. So this is where I'm getting all my information from for my flight plan. Again, PVA, check them out in the description below. This is what this virtual airline was meant for. You know, these old school airplanes and being able to do it proper. It's a lot of fun. So there is a GSX profile too. Oh, I didn't know if it. Okay, I'll have to check that one out. Storm. I wasn't sure if they had that or not. But that brings memories watching Pan Am departing from Miami. Exactly, Alex. Yeah, so it's kind of a historic flight, you know, just departing Miami, sunrise here. You guys know my history with Pan Am, so it's really cool to see this livery and see this airplane and be able to be a part of it. So let's go ahead and get the airplane fired up here. It is dark, but I want you guys to see this cockpit lighting. We messed with this the other night, last night rather. So I'm going to get all the lights on, and if you guys haven't seen the night lighting on this cockpit, it is awesome. It is awesome. So I'm going to brighten up everything here right now. Frames are same thing, a bit tough on the ground. For me, on the ground, my frames are a little bit rough, but once you get airborne, they're pretty good, and we are also in kind of a heavy scenery here. We're in, I believe it's the Latin VFR Miami, Florida, which is a pretty heavy scenery. We need to open exit 4, huh? Exit 4 is... You want that open too? Let's see. We'll open all the bulk cargos, and unless... Door 3, right? They want that open too? We'll see. Maybe door 3 left. Let's open them all.
Your crew has boarded.
Let's open them all.
Passengers boarding.
Oh, yeah, they needed that because we got the Swissport stairs on the backside. How cool is that, huh? Man, look at this view, though. Let's just, like, take a minute and just take that in right there. Latin VFR eats frames for breakfast. Yeah, it does eat frames for breakfast here. That's why we're going to just hurry up. We'll get off the ground. Going into San Jose, it's going to be much more frame friendly, I should say that. I want to know when you're going to do a face reveal. You know, I've done a few on the podcast series. I think there's been a couple. I've posted pictures and stuff. Look at the train going around there. That's pretty cool. We're also at the E-terminal, E-gates, which I believe, I don't know if there's P monitors in the chat, but I think Pan Am used to like depart E at some point. That was like the old international. The new international is around the other side of the airport, but I got us here at gate E6. Yes, Wendy, we're doing a full flight, one leg full flight though. But this cockpit is, I'm gonna turn on the storm light, dome light, and let's go ahead and get everything aligned. And because we want to get off the ground rapidly, I'm not gonna sit here and align full time. We're just gonna do a quick align. Put this in heading status. That looks good. We'll come down the overhead panel. Everything looks good there. And we'll get the seat belts, no smoking into auto. We'll put the strobe into auto, nav into position 1. Everything else can stay off right now. I guess we can turn the galley power on since we're on GPU. We'll get some coffee brewing here in the flight deck. But with that done, let's come down and pull up our flight plan from the ACARS. So we're going to come over here. We're going to do a sim brief request. There it is, Miami to MROC. That's going to be us. We're Clipper 421. We'll hit the align button there. Pretty much is going to align us right here. Callie Simmer dropping 10 gifted subs. Callie Simmer, can't appreciate you enough, man. You're just awesome. Guys, if you're picking up a membership from Callie Simmer, make sure you shout out, say thank you. Check out the exclusive members only stream after party we did yesterday, which was a lot of fun. We flew in the weather. Pretty neat. Weather radar works. We got to see that. I almost crashed the airplane going into LaGuardia on the ILS 22. So if you get a membership from Callie Simmer, tell him thank you and make sure you check out that video as well. I'm going to leave that one exclusive to members only. So appreciate you, Callie Simmer. Your support is unwavering, man. You're awesome. Thank you, sir. All right, we're cost index 99 because we are just ripping today. 421 is our flight plan, or our flight plan filed. As far as departure, we're going to depart off 8 right for cinematic purposes, and we are filed from 8 right on the Mainer 1. Oh, the circle of thrust. Yeah, Jeff, we're gonna have to be quiet about that. I think I have an emoji. I think I saw somebody. Fubar, you posted? You sent it to me, right? Maybe I'll do that in cruise. I might be able to add that emoji. But yeah, we have a new secret emoji for members only from that stream. All right, Mainer 1 departure, 8 right, and we're going out to the Fundy transition, which this departure is kind of interesting. I don't know if we could actually RNAV off the ground in the 310, but you would fly a heading anyway on this departure. It's kind of an interesting one, but the views, this is the classic going right over downtown Miami. It's sweet. As far as going into MROC, let's do this old school. Let's load up a VOR DME 7 approach. It'll be visual down there, but we'll do the VOR DME 7. We got the Barra 3 Papa. I think it's the Barra 4 in real life off of the Papa transition. That is in there. Flight plan is done. We'll go to the init B page, and this is where we're going to do some work in the EFB. So before we do that, let's go ahead and get the pitch yaw dampers ATS on board as well. And we don't need to start the APU just yet. Toga says, yeah, I'm out of surgery. I couldn't tell you because of time zones. Oh, no worry, man. Hopefully the surgery went well. Glad to have you on board, man. Hope your recovery as well. All right. Don't forget to check your cruise altitude today. Yeah, we're not going to mess that up. And I've got my takeoff profile nailed down. I did one practice takeoff prior to starting this flight today. So I've got that nailed down. I'm not going to be fumbling around. So we should be good. All right. Now I am going to pull some information from the SimBrief flight plan, but we're not going to match it up exactly right because I want to fiddle with it. So let's take a heavy load. We're going to take 238 passengers, so we're going to fill up the airplane. Our fuel for the block fuel, we needed 33.1, but because we're going to be flying much faster, I'm going to take a little bit more gas. We're going to take 46.1. So we're going to take a little over 10,000 extra because we're going to fly fast, and I don't know what the wind going on, and I'm not exactly sure how accurate this burn profile is, but we're going to find out. So I'm taking 46. So it's 13,000 pounds extra. So I got 13,000 pounds extra. Now let's go cargo. 0 fuel weight. If I mess that with right here, our 0 fuel weight was supposed to be 232, but let's make it a little bit more. Let's take, how about that? We'll do a little bit heavier. We'll do 22.9, almost 23,000 pounds of cargo headed down to San Jose, Costa Rica. So that's what we're going to load up. Then we're going to hit the apply button. That's going to shift the CG and do everything we need to do. So now, right after doing the weight and balance, I'm going to just jump into this page right here. Oh, before I do that, actually, let's take a number here where you need the 0 fuel weight is 241.6. We're going to come down here and we're going to put 241.6. Oh, always clear out that scratch pad. 0 fuel weight. Our block fuel, which is the block fuel on board, which I've learned now. So 46.0, we're going to put that there. There's our takeoff gross weight, 285.7. And the CG is 24.7 with a 1.3 up. So 24.7. I love this McDo. This McDo, I keep thinking, this is everything X-Plane 12 wanted their A350 McDo to function like. This is proper, it functions, it's snappy, it's realistic, it's awesome stuff. All right, good morning, Captain Geo. Captain Geo, man, been a minute. Hope you are well, man. Hope the family's well. Good to see you, dude. Departing your neck of the woods, my friend. No alternate. That is our init B right there. So with that done, a takeoff gross weight of 285.7. So we're going to continue finishing our takeoff stuff here. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on takeoff runway available 10499 since it'll be full length. Surface is dry. QDM will take the default of 087. Winds, we're going to zero them out right now. They're pretty much negligible. OAT is 28, so it is toast day this morning out here. What is going on with you guys in Florida, man? It's always toasty. 28C, and the altimeter is 3000. 3000. Yeah, you can kind of see how my frames are. Oh, we got to do it without the decimal point. 3000, apparently. All right, so we'll enter that. And the weight, which I forgot now, is 285.7 is our takeoff gross weight. So that's with our burn. So we're going to do let's just do 286.0, round it up a little bit. We're going to do a 15-15 takeoff, give us a little extra lift. Anti-ice off, air conditioning on, and enter that and hit calculate. We've got a flex of 59, which we're not going to do. We're doing Toga today, my friends. We're going to do a Toga takeoff, but we'll use our flex numbers 55, 57, and 61. So we're going to go to takeoff approach 155, 157. Boarding completed. That was pretty quick. And now we need to do 167. So this is how we set our speed and Mach window up here. We're going to dial in 167 for our V2. LW, what's up, man? Yeah, you know, that's a big reason why I'm streaming. I was like, TCU's not on until later tonight, so nothing in the early morning window that I'm too concerned about. So we got 167 V2, and then we're going to pre-select 250, so we'll automatically speed up and clean up to 250 knots. Cody says, Picture kick-ass CFI, so glad explaining things in approachable. Thank you, Cody. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate you, dude. And I had a member join, and I'm sorry, I missed your name there. Let me get back to you. Let me get this 250 in here. Speed window is just kind of hard to do. So after it's preset, then we'll press it in again, and now it defaults back to 167. Who was it that joined up there? Zisolt Curle? Probably butchering that, but thank you for becoming a member, man. Exclamation point welcome for your new perks here on the channel. Love having new members. You all are fantastic. Thank you for the support, guys. Appreciate you. All right, we'll do profile nav, and actually we need to do profile heading. This departure calls for a runway heading, I'm sorry, a turn to 144 off the ground. So we'll do 144 off the ground. Gosh, just take a wherever to spin up. All right, 144 on the heading off the ground, and cruise altitude is, let's check our prog. I bet you it's closer to 35. Right now, our max is 358, so we'll set 350 in the FCU for now until we burn a little gas. We're going to be pretty burn a little gas because we're going to be pretty heavy. So 350 was set. We'll go back to profile. So we got profile, climb, heading, select. That's fine for right now. DH is set for -5. Everything else looks good. They said they are done with the boarding process. Yeah, you can really see the frame change when I change views here, but that's all right. What we'll do now is we'll close up the doors. We'll get the airplane ready to go. So we'll close up all the cargo doors. Those are all closing. We'll get the APU on. APU is starting. We'll get our fuel tank pumps on. Our fuel is on board and balanced. We'll do those after start. Could use a little better APU startup sound. Where's my Microsoft sounds? Let me turn them up. Did I hit the start button? It's not even starting. Is it starting?
Miami traffic, Delta 387, 10-mile final, runway 32 land, Miami traffic.
Ah, gotta shed the galley. Check that out. That is awesome. So too much, I was thinking we got too much galley, we got too much power demand, so it can't run the galley and start the APU. That's cool. That's part of that in-depth simulation that we talk about. There we go. There's our spool up sound. Morning to Velociraptor. Good to see you, man. Cheers from Berlin. What's up? Good to see you, Kenoki. Today I flew the Lufthansa Classic from '86. That's awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, the frames, it depends on what airport I'm in. Like when we were in Cabo, not a big deal at all. INI LAX in this airplane, pretty tough. Latin VFR and this airplane, pretty tough on the ground. But as soon as we get airborne, it's not going to be a big deal at all. All right, we got our APU up and running. We'll go APU bleed on. We can get rid of the external power. Seatbelts are on, no smoking is on, dome lights on. We are pretty much ready to go here. So I will disconnect the GPU and we are ready to push back and start. This is going to be a good one, guys. Cannot wait for this departure. All right, so departure clearance is requested. We don't need that big bright dome light, so we can go ahead and turn off the storm and dome light now. Look at that. Yeah, and I think this particular gate is pretty heavy too, actually. Hopefully update to fixed frame rate comes out shortly. Should end up being about as easy on the frames as the 737. Awesome, man. Do I recommend Fort Lauderdale Latin VFR? Yes, I love I actually prefer the Lauderdale one much more. I think the Lauderdale Latin VFR is better than their Miami. Not saying Miami's bad, but I think that's probably my favorite one is Latin VFR Lauderdale. They did a great job. All right, so we got Toga manually selected over here. That's what we're going to do. We're waiting for them to load up outside. All doors and windows are closed and armed. Let's get our beacon light on. You can see it reflecting off the terminal glass. How cool is that? Iron Man. Dude, Iron Man coming in with a
Miami traffic, Delta 378.
Subs.
5 mile final, runway 30
awesome,
to
dude.
land,
Thank you
Miami
for the
traffic.
support. Absolutely crazy, man. You're absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for that, Iron Man. I appreciate you. Guys, if you pick up a gifted sub from Iron Man, shout him out. Let him know you're appreciative of that. That is a massive one. Whole chat is basically green. Thank you so much. Guys, hit the like button, too. Hit the like button for Iron Man and Callie Simmer. Donating subs, getting the vibes right. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, man. Anyone know of SimBrief integration? Yes, it does. So you can pull your flight plan. It works properly. You just have to you make sure your sim brief username is in the box correctly. Cheers, Iron Man. Thank you, dude. They're locking gear. We're getting ready to go. Looks like we actually have a tow bar today. That's interesting. All right, so we need to go nose left, tail right. Brakes release, clear to push. And just like last time, we're not going to start engines until we are off the tug. Now this is an interesting pushback. Not sure what's happening here. I did one pushback off this gate and it worked flawlessly, so let's just hope. Did I do nose right? I wanted to do nose left. What did I click? Did I click nose right or nose left? It should be nose left. Life in green, sim update 11 effect. There you go. Yeah, see the sounds, I wish the sounds could transition to the cabin for sure. I clicked correctly, says Chaos. All right. Tug driver is drunk. Just landed in Houston from St. Martin in the 310. Awesome, dude. That's a nice flight. I bet coming in over the beach was a lot of fun. Ding dong. So to save frames, I'm actually turning off my preview stream, which it then basically blocks out my volume levels that I monitor actively. So if anything gets out of whack with volume, let me know, because I won't be able to monitor it. I'm going to have that off until we get off the ground here. Mateo Chewy, bank angle checking $10, dude. Just remember that Streamlabs donos are better for you than YouTube ones. Thanks for showcasing so thoroughly this beautiful plane, such a great bridge between the old and modern aviation. Mateo Chewy, dude, thank you so much for your support. Bank angle check right back at you. Brakes are set. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. And I love doing the flying this airplane, because it really does show the old versus new, and it's awesome, man. It's awesome. But thank you for your support. Iron Man, yes, it is tough on my frames in specific airports. This airport specifically. This one and INI LAX were pretty tough. All right, but we have a good push and a pushback, so let's go ahead and start. You can see, though, as we backed off the terminal, I think it's better already. We'll do crank A today, and we're going to go ahead and start engine number 1. Here we go. We'll monitor start. I will also mute the alert box for a little bit here. There's 25% N2 fuel.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass been removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Love that sound. Slam Cannon, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Look at that power transfer. So, Captain side, PFD-ND on Gen 1, not the FO side. The way their buses are tied to each engine. Now you can cross populate, of course, just like the narrow body, but it's even this screen flickering and this one not. That is accurate simulation, which is just, it's awesome. It's payware level, definitely payware level simulation here. Same thing, we'll do this 20% N2. This year is the 50th anniversary of Airbus and the intro of the A310. Wow, I didn't know that, Jeremy. That's cool, man. Take it easy, Toga. Hope you have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping by. Introducing fuel on 2. Here we go.
Traffic, American 1300.
November, taxi 16 right, Miami traffic.
There goes our tug and tow. 350 is set. Actually took it off a little bit later than I wanted to take off. Oh yeah. Frame hitting. When I look at that terminal over here on my right, it's pretty nasty. Alright, we have, you know what doesn't help is probably VATSIM probably doesn't help all that much either. Alright, here we go. Let's go ignition off. That's coming off. My binding's coming off. We're going to go probe heat, window heat, APU bleed air off, APU master switch off, galley power on, oxygen supply is on, everything looks good on top. Let's go, we're doing 15 and 15 on the flaps. Yeah, this terminal view kills my view. Oh yeah, listen to those flaps though. Randy Gallardo, man, thank you for the continued support. It says 5 nautical miles from M-Rock. We get asked to fly the visual. Yes, sir, indeed, Randy. That's awesome. I hope we're going to be doing the visual today. GPU and load aren't that crazy. 39, GPU is at 26%, and it's at 52C. CPU is at 37%. So it's not like it's overstressing. I think there's just something going on internally. Now that's really loud, so I'll turn that down. So that's done. And did we set our trim? I don't think we did. 1.3. 1.3 is set. Speed brakes armed, park brake off. Let's get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Mike P, what's up? He says I better pin the location of liveries. Oh boy, we're gonna have to do that again, aren't we? All right, let's see where this United's going. Miami traffic clipper 421 texted runway 8 right to Miami. Alright, that's interesting. Mike P. Thanks for your support though, man, for sure. I'm gonna pin it, dude. I'm gonna pin it. Thanks for the dodo, man. Appreciate you. Just basement dwellers, don't worry. Alright, we're going to go out spot 18. Let's see if I can remember how to get out there. Actually, we'll go out this way. Is there a way to recreate a flight path that I took recently? Yes, you could go on FlightAware and look up the flight that you had just flown, and that will show you the route that your airplane took, and then you can recreate that on the sim. Absolutely. The good old Mexican standoff. Yes, sir. Alright, let's roll. Statui, what's up, man? Welcome. Alright, so everything is done. We got Toga set on the TRP. We're going to do a Toga takeoff, even though we have flex. Auto brakes max is set. Spoilers armed. Everything else looks good. Trim is set. Oh, I need to watch my speed here. 22 knots. That's not going to be... That's the thing that's so hard about taxiing in the sim, too, is like you don't feel how fast you're moving. Like 22 knots, 23 knots, that's a good little haul. There we go. If we don't look at the airport, much better. Yeah, that shadow, 10 for 10, right? Cali Simmer?
traffic, America 1300 lining up, 8 right, departing, later 1 departure.
All right, so on the departure, we're going to fly heading 144. Basically, then we'll go direct Mainer. We'll join the RNAV from there. And because it's a pretty long flight, we'll probably go direct down the line since there's no ATC in the way. That 22 knots, it's a crawl for Southwest pilots. Yeah, I mean, I taxi at 22 knots all the time too. It's just you don't feel like when you're doing 20 knots, you're not going to make a 90-degree turn. You can feel it, right? And then in the sim though, you're like, oh, I'm going to make a 90 here. And you're like, why can't I make the turn? You're like, oh yeah, I'm doing 20-something knots. I love a little bit of wing flex out there as we're going down the taxiway. We're a little bit later in the morning than I wanted to. I wanted to be departing at around 6:30. It looks like sim time is 6:52, so we're about 20 minutes past when I wanted to.
333 lining up, 08 left, for the departure to the...
Ooh, Avianca is going off 8 left. He's going off 8 right.
6 mile final, 9, Miami traffic.
Nice. Does the aircraft have a PTU like the 320? It does have a PTU. I would imagine it functions similarly, but it's still pretty different, and you can see that on their hydraulic right here. So you got the PTU up here. Now I did some extensive hydraulic testing on the X-Plane 12 version, and it was all simulated properly, and it was pretty sweet. So did that guy say he was on a 6 mile final? So that's for, this is the 8 left hold short line. Yeah, this isn't, or not 8 left, excuse me, this is 2-8. We can go up to this next one. And traffic landing Miami. Did you say you were landing 8, right?
Just 9.
Roger. Miami traffic, Clipper 421, I'm going to line up runway 8 right, Miami. All right, we are ready to go. Are you guys ready?
Clear 8 right, right turn up south.
So he's out of here. That's going to take off. Strobe lights are on. Here we go. Let's go to Costa Rica, shall we? Look at that background.
333 departing, 08 left, to southbound.
Look at that background, though. That is juice. Oh yeah, we only have 90 likes? What is up with that? You guys don't want to see a Toga takeoff. Man, if we don't hit 100 likes here, we're not doing a Toga. We'll go flex. We'll flex takeoff. How lame would that be? We need to go Toga. There we go. That's more like it. All right, profile climb. Man thrust, that's going to change. I'm going to hit my Toga push button, which I figured out where that is now, so we're good to go. 15-15, are you guys ready? Spool them up 50%. Toga.
Miami traffic, go about 334, clear of 9, crossing 12, Miami traffic.
Miami traffic, Clipper 421, departing 8 right, Miami. There it is. Listen to those beasts. Okay, alright, we don't have enough frames to be messing with wing views on departure. Let's go. 100 knots, check. We are heavy. We're not even that heavy. I mean, we are heavier, but just beast. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Oh. How sweet is that? Alright, so what I'm going to do is, I'm not sure where that guy, I guess he was off the right side. So now we're going to go direct to Baller. Insert. Profile nav. So we are profile climb nav. Got to get back up to that command bar. Under rotating there. Here comes climb, thrust, and acceleration. We'll go 15-0. That's the trim wheel running. Profile thrust, profile climb nav. Switch offline for now. Goodbye, Miami. Miami Beach, baby. That's awesome. Get a little bit with that sun coming in here. Let's brighten up these panels just a little bit more. Love the lighting in here too. Look at that. There's SB. We'll go flaps 0 or slats 0. Say goodbye to Miami Beach, y'all. Smash the like button for that. Jeez, that's beautiful. Nice calm morning here in Miami. All right, in the turn. Let's keep on going. Hand flying awesomely. Yeah, see, so my frames now are just butter. It's just on the ground there, man. Something, maybe these bigger airports and this airplane just don't mix too well, because now it's just buttery smooth, man. Iron Man says this is basically real life. Yep. Look at me, and I'm hands free. I know I don't have a yoke cam up yet, but hands free, trimmed out, just making little corrections. The hand flying on this airplane is really nice. I really enjoy it. Boom. Yep, the screens look darker when you're flying into the sun, Jeremy. Oh yeah. So now that we went in offline mode, we'll probably lose some of the server stuff, but that's all right. We don't need to mess with that for right now. We're going to be flying over quite a bit of water actually. But I'm going to keep hand flying it for as long as we can here. Let's go ahead and go landing gear lever off. And we are in auto on the TRP, so we are in climb thrust, which is good. And speed brakes are, did I retract? Yep, there we go. Speed brakes are disarmed. We're on the departure. This is looking good. We'll get the DH off. We're cleaning it up. We are cleaning it up. What's after McClaw? Let's see if we can, let's go direct to Fundy. That sounds fun. Direct Fundy insert. That'll straighten out the line a little bit. At a 9,000 for 350. iniBuilds says we potentially identify the cause of some FPS concerns and are working with the Zobo to resolve. Awesome. Awesome. That sounds good, man. Yeah, so I noticed it more so with the Latin VFR. Like on the ground, it was struggling. But as soon as I get up and away from the airport, it seems to be pretty darn buttery smooth. So if they've identified something, that's good to know. Thank you for stopping by. Letting us know, iniBuilds. That's awesome. All right, so let's get our lights off. Our turn-off lights are off. Wing lights off. Nose light is off. Now we're going to accelerate now. There's our out of 11, so we'll just kind of nose forward. We are going somewhere today, folks. We are going somewhere. Beautiful Miami morning. What's our cost index climb speed? 325 today. All right, I've had about enough fun. Let's go autopilot 1 on. So flight director 1, command 1. It's going to readjust my trim there. Always hand the airplane a trimmed airplane. So that's something that you should always take with you from whether you're flying 172s or what have you. Always hand the autopilot a trimmed airplane if you can do it. So trim it out, get it where you want it to be, and then engage the autopilot. Because most of the time, the way most of these systems work is if you hand the autopilot a trimmed airplane, it's going to give you a trimmed airplane. Why does the yoke move when the autopilot is on? I thought autopilot uses servos directly. That's, I do not know. I don't know if that's a limitation or if that's by design on the A310. I'm not sure about that question. Oh, I've flown airplanes where the yoke definitely moves. So like on all the citations and stuff, the yoke moves. On the Embraer, I don't even remember now. I don't even remember if the 190, if the yoke moved with the autopilot engaged. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. I think that would be dependent upon airframe. Yeah, Aeroflies, you had a good point there. If the worst problem with the airplane was some frame drop on the ground, then that is a hell of a release version. And I couldn't agree more, man. I mean, the airplane is flying, it just hand flies so well. And knowing that they took full advantage of the CFD flight modeling is awesome. I mean, you can tell, you can feel it, you can feel the mass. And what makes this airplane particularly fun is the power management and the energy management. So combining the energy state of the aircraft with the power that you have on the engines, if you get out of sync, if you get into a low energy state and a low power state at the same time, you are going to lose some speed. And if you're a slow speed, you might stall, you might put it in the dirt. Like, it is no joke. So you really got to be monitoring that, and I feel like they have nailed that aspect of capturing that energy management combined with power management. All right, so we're looking good. 350, we're cost index to climb out. I don't think we had any fuel in the center tank, did we? No, we are good. So we're pretty much all set there. We've got 42.3 on board. Let's do a couple other little easy checks here. What's our fuel on touchdown? 10.7 on landing. That seems low. Maybe not. 10.7. That should be all right. That's cost index 99 too, so that should be fine. 10.8, it's going up actually. That's good. We like to see that number go up. Let's put in our MROC in here so we can do a countdown. 944 miles to go. Gio, welcome back to Private Pilot, my friend. Good to see you back on board Team Green, Gio. Got your V1 bars there, V1 status achieved, dude. Welcome on board. Yeah, iniBuilds is they're talking about the flight model, and it just is CFD, and this is a question I have for y'all in chat and maybe iniBuilds, is like, does Xbox allow use of like CFD flight modeling? Is that a thing? Because when I think of Xbox, I think, well, it's just basically it's going to be everything canned up for Xbox, but I don't even know. Maybe it is too. I'm not sure. Going to be doing any ETP things, or is that no, that is a thing. We'll mess with the ETP chaos and we'll check what we're doing. So I'm going to let me pull up my VAMSys here, and I'm going to disable performance mode so I can see what's going on in the stream too. I think my frames are fine now. So Final Light, what's up with scenery? Still having SimConnect issues. I think it is still in and out. I just went offline mode here for a little bit because we're going to be over water for a good majority. So, all right, I'm going to pull up VAMSys so you can see what I'm looking at here. So let me pull this over to this PC monitor. All right, let's take a look at our map, see what we got. So, oh, I guess maybe our online connection is off. That's not good. I wonder. I wonder if we lost connection. I'll have to see. But anyway, we can see our wind map. Let's look at this. This will give us a better idea. So looks like we're going to be dealing with a little bit of a quartering, actually pretty much a crosswind the whole way. Nothing crazy between here and Cuba. Kind of looking at our overwater plans here. This is an area of embedded thunderstorms, which we'll go back to online mode here in a minute. Do they let you do manual PIREPs, FUBAR? Yes, they do. You can do manual PIREPs indeed. So the weather map here, yeah, it's pretty much clear all the way there, so that's good. So we can try, we might try going back to online mode here in a second. Lots of 310s and VATs in today. Oh, I believe it, man. I absolutely believe it. The size of the CFD bubble might differ on Xbox, simulates it up to 20 kilometers on PC. Interesting, Chaos. Interesting. Yeah, the hand flying aspect is awesome. It really is. It makes me so, like, I always said this too, even from when Microsoft first announced, and I understand, I saw that it was going to be on Xbox. My very first thoughts were like, oh, great. Is it even going to be able to have the capability of being a true sim? Like, are we going to get the developers that are still going to be able to give us true sim airplanes if it has to have this Xbox crutch, if you will, on it? But having the enhancement pack downloadable for PC users, that is just, it's almost game-changing in a way for future devs that are going to look at Microsoft Flight Simulator and be like, okay, well, how can we make this work? Well, iniBuilds did it, and maybe we can do the same thing. We can have an enhancement pack or something of the sort that you can download for PC, really bring that plane up to PC simulation standards, because the standards for PC simulation are definitely higher than anything on a console. So seeing that has been accomplished, I mean, it just makes me so excited for the future of this sim. It really, really does. Jeremy says, do you remember the famous accident involving the airplane where the pilot kid crashed after they let him pretend fly? I do, Jeremy. Was that in a 310? Ironically, last night when I was on YouTube, just at home, I was browsing the YouTubes, and there was one of those Mayday things popped up, and it was an A300 accident. I think it was the American one that popped up. Let's keep monitoring, make sure everything is good here. We'll do a quick system. Vibes are good. Hydraulics are good. Pressurization is good. Somebody said they had a pressurization issue, but I haven't seen any of that, so knock on wood, we're good there. Let's go ahead and, I guess we don't need the overhead light anymore. We'll turn that off. We can turn off this map light over here. And we'll turn off let's see, which one is it? The floodlight. We'll turn the floodlight off. I never got to show you guys the night cabin. The nighttime cabin on this airplane is sweet. We did it yesterday on the members only after dark when we were doing our after party stream, and it was awesome seeing the cabin at night. That was an Aeroflot 310. Interesting. Yes, I remember. Brand new 310 from Russia to Hong Kong. Kid in the cockpit, right? I think that's what the title was of that. Yes, I remember that now. iniBuilds says they had a few reports of pressurization issues. We're actively investigating those too. Yeah, so I'll double check, and I used GSX with basically full functionality. I obviously just did it for visual purposes. They came, boarded up, they did the cargo loading with the ULDs, doors and everything were fine, so that's good to see. And I haven't had any hot brake issues on pushback. Even we had a crazy pushback tug driver today. But right now everything is fine. We're 8.2 on the diff, climbing at 840 feet per minute. We'll see what happens when we get up there at altitude. But everything else, and what we could do is we'll change our cruise. Let's change this to 350 because we are not going all the way to 37 just yet. No terrain necessary. Oh, and we did check out the weather radar last night. So the weather radar was awesome to see. It's the Microsoft update version, and it is, is it perfect? No, but it is way better than nothing, and we had a good time deviating around some weather up in New York. We did where did we go? Buffalo. We went Buffalo to LaGuardia, and it was raining crazy. It was awesome. Excuse me. Does Pan Am have a VA? John, excuse me. I don't know if Pan Am has one specifically, but the PVA group, Piedmont Virtual Historical, linked in the description if you want to check it out. What I really love about this VA is they do what's called seasonal, like seasons of airlines. So the spring season will have, Northwest, Pan Am, brand F something, and then somewhere they'll change it. Maybe they'll add TWA or what have you. And Piedmont will always be there because that's like the home base of the VA. But the seasonal airframes on the seasonal airlines are awesome. Pan Am has been a part of it pretty much since the beginning. I don't know if they're going to keep that one consistent, but yes, I mean, and the best part about it too is that they're all like vetted. Piedmonitor, the devs, not the devs, that's what I'm thinking of. The admins of PVA work really hard to make it very accurate, get timetables, get routes. So if you want to fly real routes, you can do it in this VA. And I was jump seating around, so there's a jump seat option because I was in Detroit, and I was like, well, where can I fly the 310 with Pan Am? And I would filter by routes from 310 from Detroit. I could only go, I think, like a Transcon. I was like, well, I don't want to go there, so I jump seated there, jump seated down to Miami, and I was like, okay, where can I go from Miami? And then I had a couple options, and MROC or Costa Rica was closest. So like, let's do that. Let's do Miami to San Jose, Costa Rica. A little bit of a vacation flight here, but it's neat, man. It's really neat. It's really cool how it's run. I love the VAMSys. Good stuff. Piedmonitor's GOAT. There you go. All right, where do we get liberties? All right, for real. Let's do this again. I will pin everything here. So let me get the link to what is this? Livery Manager V2. There's the link. Copy that. Now I will pin a message. Lauren, we'll try. Yeah, we'll do the Cyrus visual. In all caps. Liveries can be found here for PC only. I will do both, Mike P. I will pin this, and I will do a Nightbot command. Because that, if I were to filter by that questions, that is going to be number one. So exclamation point livery, Livery, message, paste, submit, done. Exclamation point livery will get you set up for that as well. Cool. Looks like we're reaching 350. Leveling off. Engines are coming back. It's a smooth morning on our way down to Costa Rica. Let's go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off. You are now free to move about the cabin. We'll come down here. We'll do a couple of status checks. So we got 863 miles to go. Progress page, fuel predict. Oops, wrong button. Progress page, fuel predict. Estimating 10.9. So we're looking good. I still feel like that's not a lot of gas, but I guess that's all right. So EFB 10.9 on arrival. Why are we turning steeply? Oh, there's a turn on our flight plan. Wow, look at that. Oh, wow, look at that. Out over the water, baby. Doing what Clipper's supposed to be doing. Yes, I will make, I'll show you the volume settings right now. Wow, look at those contrails. Contrails look pretty dang good, too. Man. All right, we're settling in here at our cruise at 350.81 Mach. TAD is in icing range, but we're not in visible moisture, so we don't need to worry about that. TRP is in climb. Let me show you the volume settings so you can take a quick screenshot. This is pretty much what I have right now. I'm actually going to bump the engines down to, I'm going to bump down to 50. I like to juice it up there a little bit on the ground for takeoff. So 50%, exterior and interior right about 30% mark. That's what we got going on there. And then I was going to do one other thing. What was I going to do now? I forget. There's something over here on this page and I wanted to check it out. Oh, well. Oh, checklist. Let's go ahead and do, let's see, after takeoff climb, make sure we're not missing anything. Long term, because long term could be, oh, we should probably set standard. We never set standard. This is going to change our cruise altitude a little bit. We're going to have to climb up a little bit more now. We'll set standard. See, it's not flashing at me like in the 320, so I forget. All right, that pretty much takes care of the after takeoff climb checklist. We can settle in now, do some cabin tours, do some jump seating tours. M-Rock to MHTG after this. Team Vodka, what's up, man? I don't think so, dude. By that time, we're going to see some good college football games coming on, so that's a nice morning view. Let's hop outside, shall we? Let's hop outside for a minute. We'll do the outside view. We'll turn this down. We'll come back in here, actually. Oh, didn't want to do that. Come over here. Adjust our sound settings. We'll do exterior to like 20%. We'll put this at like 1. There's a sweet spot for it. That's not it. Where is it? Where is like so? There it is. There's the sweet spot sound. Let's do it. What do we got on the menu today? Ooh, this sounds very Pan Am-ish. Taking her out over the water. Love it. Does the 310 have a Microsoft Flight Simulator toolbar checklist? Chaos. Good question. I do not know. Wow, that's aggressive. Look at that. 10,000 foot procedure. Look at that. So, additional checklist. Altimeters, landing lights, seat belts, top of climb. TRP indicates CR for cruise. ECAM status page check. ECAM system pages review periodically, which we will. Flight progress, check track and distance. Check fuel on board. See, I'm doing all those things. So it has all of the extended items in there. I didn't even think of that, Chaos. Great to point that out, man. That's awesome to point that out, dude. All right, I thought this song was going to be a little bit better. This is a little bit too, a little bit too hyphy, huh? We need to chill. This is a chill Saturday stream, man. Over Cuba, yeah, that's Cuba right there. About ready to cross over Cuba. Make sure we're in radar contact. Don't want to be NORAD for flying over Cuba. Been there, done that. Expecting to take a missile right up the tailpipe. Did we ever get proper pronunciation of iniBuilds? Mike P. No, we did not. And I actually looked back in the chat log to see if they responded. I didn't see a message. Chris Run, take it easy, man. Thanks for stopping by, man. Where do you put transition level in the McDo? It should be there on their takeoff approach page, maybe? Was that on takeoff approach? Let me see. I'll find it for you. No. Init? No. I think you just have to know. I think you just have to know. I think you just have to know what your transition output is. This isn't a modern airliner. It's going to tell you what to do. So you could change our cruise speed here, but we're profiled out already at cost index 99. We'll just leave our prog page up for now. Man, I gotta text the wife. What kind of coffee should we get this morning, huh? I feel like we need a Starbucks delivery this morning. Should we get another? Let's see. I don't know if I want peppermint mocha. We had one yesterday. Those things are not the best for you. I'll tell you that. I say I like Audi. Ini. Yeah. Oh, here's the official response. I personally say iniBuilds, but others in staff say I builds. Okay, so I guess it's you can do either or, I guess. Do the airplanes taxi any better? Trading pilot. So, man, I wish I can. If I pull up my settings, does it pause the whole sim? I think it does, doesn't it? Yeah. So, I'll tell you what I did. So, on my rudder specifically, and I have this for the Phoenix. I have it also for the 737. Basically, it's like my default rudder sensitivity. Nope. And at the very bottom, when you look at your rudder sensitivity, there's a reactivity setting. And it doesn't necessarily change the curves, but I don't even know what it does from a technical standpoint as far as reactivity. But I set mine to like 80% reactivity, and to me, it kind of slows down the aggressiveness at which an input is applied, I think, if that makes sense how I'm saying it. So if you're having issues with the airplane being like twitchy or something, mess with the reactivity on your rudders. And now your results may vary. I have a pretty solid rudder set. I use the MFG crosswinds, which are very smooth, very precise. So I just use a very slight curve, I think like maybe 5% or something like that. And I have reactivity at about 80, and it just kind of dampens everything. And Team Vodka, yeah, I told Team Vodka about it, and he said he had the same issues, and with the settings I showed him, it smoothed it out for him. So try that next time. Just black espresso, that's all I'm drinking. Lauren, I might do that. Might have to do an espresso. Man, I flew up to Mini. Team Vodka, you might know this. So months ago, maybe even a year ago now, I did a flight up to Minneapolis, and I asked FO, I said, hey man, I'm gonna go grab coffee, what do you want? And he goes, yeah, can you get me I cannot think of the name. It's basically a black eye, but I think, is it a black eye? But then if you, up in Minneapolis, they call it something else, like a depth charge or something. And I was like, what? But apparently the barista knew what it was. I guess it's a Minnesota thing. But I do like black espresso, man. Jeremy, I missed your comment back up there. Do you know if Pan Am Airbus cabins ever had drinking water dispensers built in? What do you mean drinking water dispensers? You mean like a water fountain? I'd have to ask. I'd have to ask my mom on that one, Jeremy. An old Caribou coffee drink. Shot in the dark, black-eyed Susan. Maybe it was one of those. No, there's a Caribou in Mini. At least there used to be. Caribou is literally rebranded Starbucks, same company, same coffee. Really? I did not know that. Isn't it a depth charge, a cocktail? See, I thought it was a drink too. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. It was a depth charge. And so I'm in uniform, and I asked the barista, I think I said I wanted a black eye or something for my FO. And she's like, we call those depth charges. I'm like, and then I was kind of taken back because I thought that meant it was going to be alcoholic. I'm like, you can't serve alcoholic. Like, I don't know, it was a weird scenario, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I just got it and gave it to him. He liked it, whatever it was. Folgers Black Silk for you, always brew it extra bold. You know, my grandparents, man, every summer they would get up. So we'd go up there, my sister and I, we'd fly out. And that's where I got to fly on the old like 737-200s and stuff. But every morning they'd get up at like 6 a.m., 5 or even 5 a.m., 5 or 6, no later than 6 a.m. And you know, young kids, we always sleeping into 9 or whatever. But they would always brew extra strong Folgers coffee, and man, it would just fill the house. I love that smell, man. I think maybe that's why I love coffee so much to this day. And being on the West Coast every morning, it's foggy, and I just loved it, man. Nothing like the smell of a coffee. That's why I love it when flight attendants brew coffee for the boarding process, because not all of them do it. You know, some of them, depending on what kind of mood they're in, they're like, you know, they don't want to work that hard in the morning, especially if it's early morning. It's unfortunately that's what it's kind of come to these days. But the service, I would say, the level of service has gone down a little bit. But man, when they start brewing fresh coffee in the morning, it wafts into the flight deck, starting to board. That's the best. That's a really neat part of the job, man. Little things like that. You got to enjoy those little things. So was an upgrade compared to 310 an explanation? Paul Parker. So I saw this question. Let's zero back in on 310 for a second. So I thought that there was going to be no possible way the 310 in Microsoft would be as good as the one that we had in X-Plane 11. I will be full disclosure, I haven't messed with the 310 or 300 in X-Plane 12. I'm not sure if it's compatible yet or not, so I think I saw somewhere they said they were going to make the A310 compatible with X-Plane 12, but they haven't yet. But speaking specifically to X-Plane 11, I didn't think it would be possible to be as in-depth and be as awesome as the one in X-Plane 11, because when they dropped the 310 in X-Plane, it was a game changer. It was a new bar. It was a bar setter. It set the tone for the remainder of X-Plane 11's active life. Now, I know there's still people flying X-Plane 11, but at the time, 12 wasn't out yet. Microsoft didn't really have any steam going for it. And I was like, there's just no way. The 310 is awesome in X-Plane. When I got into this airplane, dude, and I started powering up the airplane, I looked around the cockpit, I put the enhancement mod on, got to walk the cabin. We'll do a cabin tour here in a bit. But at night, if you do yourself a favor, and if you're going to fly the 310 today, do a night flight or just do an early dawn departure and go into the cabin when it's dark out and the lights are on. It is awesome. I was in the American Airlines luxury liner livery, and it just was stunning sitting in the back of that cabin at night with the lights on. So clean, so crisp. And man, I tell you what, this Microsoft version of the 310 is every bit of what we saw in 11, and in my personal opinion, I enjoy it more than X-Plane 11. Now, with that said, there are two little things. Sometimes my view on like my wing view and stuff, and I think that's because I have to do like a hack view to get wing views, the sounds in my wing views don't reflect the sounds that's happening in the airplane necessarily. Like up in the cockpit, you hear the wind and all, and like the AC going or running or whatnot. And then I go to my wing view and there's no sound there. But then sometimes there is. So I don't know if that has to do with my wing view setting. And I think iniBuilds said they were actually working on a view CFG, which might fix that issue. So there's that. And then the only other thing that this airplane doesn't do that X-Plane did was have Hoppy support for ACARs, I believe. So no Hoppy support for ACARs. And also the third thing, there was three things. The third thing is you can't send your takeoff data from your EFB here. So when we do our numbers like this, so in X-Plane, we would calculate it and then you hit send to FMS and it would uplink it, which was pretty cool. But realistically, back in the Pan Am Clipper days, that's not how they did it. They would do it all manually. So it's not necessarily a negative in my opinion. I'm just showing you like what features didn't quite make it. And it's not even, that would be the only feature really. Everything else is just kind of a personal thing, like with the sound and all that. But what do we have here? Team Vodka gifting 20 sub memberships. Team Vodka, dude, I appreciate you, man. You're absolutely a stud, dude. Thank you, Team Vodka. Turning us green. Guys, if you get a membership today, I've got the, I still have the alert box muted for now. But Team Vodka, thank you, dude, for your support. It says, let's get those subs up. Let's get the memberships up. Guys, if you pick up a membership, new to the channel, maybe the 310 brought you to this channel for the first time, sync up your Discord so you get the V1 After Dark section. There's podcasts out there. I do members only content. We did an after party stream last night. I do real world shorts videos for members only, so you get to see some real flying, get to see all that good stuff. So thank you, Team Vodka. Appreciate your support, my friend. And if you guys are new to the channel, you like this content, just don't feel bad. Smash that like button and hit the subscribe button as well. So I don't have a set schedule like most full-time streamers, or pretty much all full-time streamers or anything like that. I don't have a set schedule due to the nature of my job. So if you want to see a video, you may not, because sometimes I literally say, hey, I've got 3 hours to do a stream. I run to the office, start the stream, no prelims. Sometimes I schedule them out over a day in advance, kind of like today. I didn't know what I was going to do. 9:30 this morning, I said, screw it. I'm going to go fly to Costa Rica. So make sure you're subscribed and notifications are on if you want to see this kind of stuff. Oh, God. Mike P. Mike P dropping a $21 super chat. And get the alert box back on. Let's see what's going on. Here we go again. Glad I got paid on the 15th. Mike P, appreciate you, man. Shout out to Mike P as well. He is a former Army, I believe, right? Is that what we said earlier? So Veterans Day, happy Veterans Day, a day late. Apologies on that, but appreciate you, man. Absolutely awesome. Thanks for your support. Oh boy. There's not going to be any non-members in chat. Chuck Blake coming in with 20 gifted subs as well. We're gonna need more viewers to join the channel just so they can get a gifted subscription. You guys are savages. Thank you, Chuck Blake. Appreciate that as well, man. Absolutely awesome. Working on an all green chat, says Team Vodka. It is fastly coming. It is fastly turning that way, my friend. Look, Cuba in the background. Should I attempt to go back into online mode and see what's going on? I guess we could do that. Let's see what else. Let's see if we can get some more. Subtrain Choo Choo, Jonathan Charles. Indeed, man. Thank you. Cheers, Chuck. Congrats on the news members. Thank you, boss. That's absolutely right. Matt Hawkins has joined Private Pilot as well. He's feeling left out. Matt Hawkins was feeling left out. I appreciate you joining, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support. Welcome to Team Green, my friend. This chat is the best I've ever seen. Awesome, Cornelius Nimbus. I agree with you, man. I was saying this to the member-only after party. It's like, you guys are awesome. I mean, the support you guys show me, show the channel. It's just, I can't thank you from the bottom of my heart. My whole family, we appreciate it. So thank you guys. Thank you. Jeremy Harvey says, we may not have the biggest channel here, but we have some of the biggest hearts. I could not agree more, Jeremy. I think that is 100% correct. I love this community, and the flight sim community can be harsh at times because it is something we share a passion about, right? We're all very passionate about aviation and our sim. So then when somebody has a difference of opinion about something you're extremely passionate about, it can make for a kind of harsh or slightly aggressive vibe. But I'm telling you, you guys are absolutely awesome here on the V1 community. I love you guys and appreciate the support, man. Big hearts, among other things. God, chaos. Kawata Monday salutes in chat, Fubar. Yes, sir. Says, we appreciate you, V1. You're the best teacher there is. Fubar, I appreciate that, man. Thank you, sir. Speaking of which, you reminded me of something. Let me see if I have... Was it you that DM'd me? I apologize, and I'm very bad at DMs. I get a ton of them. I get a ton of spam ones. But Fubar, yes. The circle of thrust emoji. I'm going to see if I can get this up linked here right now, my friend. So last night in our members only after party, we have determined a what's the word I'm looking for? Inside. It's like an inside joke, but it's an inside emoji. Sounds iffy, but yeah, inside joke emoji. Oh yeah, tell them what else would happen. So if you guys want to see me almost crash, so I'm pretty happy to say let me think hard on this one. I don't think I've ever crashed, like legit crashed an airplane on live stream. I've gotten very close. Notable close finishes, taking off not too long ago in the King Air out of Hayward. We were cutting some trees down. We had a trim runaway. That was very close. I did have a crash on X-Plane 12 in the 340, but that was just on a test. We were testing the sim, and like we got a bunch of ice, and basically the wings fell off. So that doesn't really count, I don't think. But other than trimming the treetops on that King Air stream, we got very, very close to crashing in LaGuardia last night on this very airplane here, 310. The winds were like 25, gusting whatever. Somebody recommended, hey, let's go to LaGuardia. I was looking for members' suggestions for a route. I was like, yeah, let's go to LaGuardia. Sounds good. Didn't check the weather, didn't do nothing. We're flying in. It's like low clouds, low vis, heavy rain, gusty winds. I ended up cutting off Team Vodka on final approach. Got a TCAS RA. I complied with the RA. We got enough separation. And then I saw the runway, so I said, screw it, I'm going for it. So I canceled my go around and landed. It got a little spicy. I did clip a light pole and peril. Oh, Chaos, you're right. I did clip a light pole and peril. Oh, and Tahoe with the BAE 146. You're right. You're absolutely right. But see, the 146 in Tahoe, that was something else. We're gonna have to watch that stream. Maybe I'll pull it up here at the halfway point. We'll have to just watch that part. I don't know what happened. We were doing like a 13-hour stream, and the last leg of the stream, there was like some weird glitch departing Tahoe in the 146 that my plane basically incinerated itself off departure. But we've had some like legit close ones. King Air was legit close. The light pole, that's my bad. although that would be considered an aircraft accident and damage, it's not a crash. So I can't count that as a crash, but it's 100% an accident on my end. Was not supposed to go down that taxiway. And then last night in LaGuardia. David says, I don't remember that ever happening. What are you talking about? Exactly. LW says, immediately got it. I've got a number for you to call. Oh, yeah. Exactly, Al. Yeah, it was just hearing that phrase gives me anxiety, man. That's like the one phrase you do not want to hear. Jeremy says, I love that as big as the channel has become, and it's not started to feel commercial. It still feels like a close-knit. I totally agree, man. You know, I've built with y'all like members, and even if you're not a member, just I feel like the more you put in as a viewer, and you don't have to put in anything. You can literally ninja watch a stream, don't have to hit the like button, don't hit the subscribe. Maybe you just want to watch the content. That's totally fine. But for those viewers that put more into the channel, whether it's subscribing, becoming a Discord member, or communicating in chat, you know, I start recognizing all your names. I start seeing your names. I start to develop these almost like developing real relationships. And then for those that join the members only voice channel, you know, there's notables in there that like actually feel like developed legit friendships over the years, and it's awesome. I can't wait to see where it continues to go. Yeah, you did call that out on That's in Unicom, man. It made my heart skip a beat, and I was like, okay, it's vodka. They're like, man, I just hate that phrase because I've heard it before. So whenever I hear those words, it's like, oh, man. I saw a pic of a light pole cutting into a plane wing. It was ATC's fault with the taxi lane. How is it not a breakaway pole? Most poles are breakaway, Craven. I've got a couple good vids of that. I'll see if I can find some for you guys. Let's hop in here. Let's do a prog check. Everything is good. 678. Flight plan is good. Let's do a fuel hack, fuel prediction. One day I'm going to have to get like some type of. I'll have to print a flight plan or something and do like like fuel hacks for you guys and compare fuel and all that. Show you how to do that. 10.6. So we've gone down a little bit, but everything seems fine. What kind of winds are we dealing with? Not much. 225 at 2 knots. That's because I think we're off of live weather, which is good. Airplane is rock steady here at 350. What's our fuel burn? Good night. 10,000 inside. Jeez, these old airplanes, man. Who was that just dropped in that? It's Kyle1 gifting 20 subs again. Mr. Kyle, dude. What else can I say? There's a perfect example of what we were just talking about for the last 5 minutes. Kyle, or it's Kyle1. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, dude. I guess I will mute the alert box on this one. So whoever got that first one, was that Spike Fly? Somebody got some fame there, but we'll turn off the alert box for the next 20 additional gifted subs. Fantastic, Kyle. Thank you, sir. I hope my YouTube premium watch time monies go towards your channel. Cody, they do. So if you are a premium YouTube member, so like you don't have ads or anything, and you watch my video, it does indeed help the channel as well. So it's Kyle1 is spreading the love. Exactly. Yep, Team Vodka's got it right there. Get lots of extra content available to members, notifications, check out members section. I might, let's see, do I do a lunch today? Maybe I'll run out and I'll do a quick break, and I can even publish, go through put an old podcast up or something so you can see what you're missing. But there we go. That's done. All right, so where are we at? YouTube premium member here. Nice, Blue Mac. Awesome. I was buying a membership when you gifted it to me, so thank you. That's awesome, Skytime. V1 is a household name at my house. Good to hear it, Scott. You know, I've got that too. So like I see a lot of times, you know, there's hardly anything really good on TV anymore, right? So at least in my opinion, like as far as actual cable shows, you know, my wife watches a few, but I don't really watch TV other than sports. So like there'll be times when I throw up, you know, some of my content creators like XP72, you know, I'll throw him up on the big screen TV and he'd just be playing in the background. Like my kids know who he is. My wife knows who he is. I actually got the pleasure of meeting him in person when he came out to Texas. So we went and had lunch. It was a great time. Solid dude. Love XP72. So I have him on. I'll have others on. You know, it's like, yeah, it's a household name. So to hear that, you know, you've brought me into your home, it's awesome. I appreciate it. All you watch is sports. Yeah, Matt, that's pretty much all I watch on TV, man, is sports. Like, once football season is over, I pretty much watch nothing, dude. Dream Virtual, what's up? Says hi, my friend. Awesome streaming. I can't see the cabin. How is it? Let's do a cabin tour, Dream Virtual. Let's do it right now. Let's do a cabin tour right now after I get to this super chat. I gotta know this. I know this currency. I know it. I know this currency. Norwegian, right? It's Norwegian kroners. Thank you so much, John Amy. John Amy 430. Sorry if I butchered that. Thank you for the 100 Norwegian krone. Appreciate you. I just wanted to fly helos and gliders in this update, but you got me hyped on an old bus. Damn your enthusiasm, V1. Great stream as always. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Very kind words for you. I haven't checked out any of the helos yet, so I love helicopter flying myself. I am very fascinated with the physics of helicopters and how they work. I still think I'm going to pause this song here too because we're going to do a cabin tour. But I still think some of the best helicopter flying out there is where is this on there? Is on DCS, and I haven't been able to fly in DCS recently, but I kind of want to check out the helicopter flying that's on this current update. So I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for your support. And yes, you should be hyped about this airplane because it's unbelievable. You get a full fidelity payware level airplane for free. Now, I know there's been some chat like, well, it's not free because Microsoft paid I or iniBuilds. You know what? Why is an X-Plane paying developers to bring competition? If you know anything about business, like business is business, and what Microsoft is bringing to the table, which I personally was skeptical of. When it first came out, I didn't touch Microsoft for a year. But what they have started bringing to the table is awesome. So for the consumer, it's a free airplane. It's study level. You've got an old Airbus to fly, long haul, short haul, awesome. You've got a new fly-by-wire 320neo that is a community development project that's only getting better with each day that goes by and the updates they put on that airplane. It's hard to turn down. So with that said, let's not do any soapboxing just yet. Let's go do a cabin tour, shall we? Let's go ahead and exit the cockpit here. Got to get the pumpkin cream cold brew at Starbucks. You feel like a bitch ordering, but it's delicious. GS, that's why I have my wife order it for me, but I'm right there with you, man. They're delicious. I love them, man. Pumpkin cream cold brew is good. I like the pumpkin spice latte as well. And of course, we've got she brought me one yesterday, first one of the season for me, the peppermint mocha. It's basically Christmas in a cup. Like the peppermint mocha at Starbucks, terrible for you, loaded with sugar and chocolate, but it's delicious. It's basically ice cream, warm ice cream in a cup. So I like those too, but I won't order it. Irish cream cold brew, had that as well. Good. I do love cold brews in general. So here we are in the beautiful cabin. Let's just enjoy this cabin for a minute, huh? Look how clean the seats are, the textures are. And by clean, I mean like how, sharp. It's not, look at that. There have been numerous cabins throughout sims that I've been on that are payware cabins, and they do not even come close to this level of detail and texturing. Anytime I drink Starbucks, I put a pinky up. Yeah, I do that sometimes too, man. Look, I know this view is probably unpopular. We'll do this one here, but this is one of my favorite views. And I don't know why. I think it's a little bit nostalgic for me because I think I sat here on a similar row as a kid, and I just remember the first time I looked out at the wing, how wide and fat this wing was because I was so used to little 737 wings, and it just hit me. So like you can't see the ground, it's kind of boring. You're not on the flaps, but there's something about that big chunky wing out there that I love, Chunky wings need loving too. So Dustin, thank you for the $10 super chat, man. Appreciate that. It says, love watching your content. Thank you for putting it out. As an avid flight simmer and meteorologist, it's awesome to see the content, and I learned so much about the 320 from you. Dustin, thank you, man. I appreciate the support. Thank you for the $10 super chat, my friend. Glad you're learning content from about the 320. Meteorologist, that's interesting. So we probably share a lot of the same interests when it comes to weather and stuff because obviously, being a pilot, weather is a big, big deal of what we do. That's awesome, man. Thank you for your support. Thanks for that super chat, my friend. Pre-wing flex, yeah. Look at this. So we've got a 3-3 cabin. At least it's not like, was the L10? I want to say I was on an L1011 that was like, maybe it was 342 or 243 maybe. Yeah, either or. This is a good seat though right here because, ooh, we're looking out the window. Let's see, we're in the turn. You got all kinds of leg room right here though. Look at that. All kinds of leg room. Sitting here at the emergency exit row. I have a window seat every time I fly. Yeah, I try to get one too. You know what's a giant pet peeve of mine? Is people who get the window seat. And I'm not talking about just like, you know, on Southwest because you don't really pay for a seat there. But pretty much every other airline in the U.S. you pay for your seat if you elect to, right? And most people do, especially window seats. But the people who sit in the window seat, but as soon as they sit down, they close the window shade and they leave it down the entire flight. It's like, why would you pick a window seat if you're not even gonna have the opportunity to look out the window? I don't understand. Now, sometimes I get it, super bright, especially if you're on like American or depending on the type of wing texture of the 7.3, real bright sunshine can reflect off this and basically be blinding you depending on where the sunlight angles are. I get that. You want to sleep after takeoff? Cool. Close it down for cruise. Not a big deal. Most of the time in cruise, I'll bring mine down too just because it's bright. You don't need to be looking out over the water. But the whole flight, it's like, really? And I mean, it happens. There are people out there that legit put the window shade down from when they sit down on the window seat, and then until they leave. I don't understand that. I literally do not understand that mentality at all. Look at the seatbelts are even crossed. Look at this. That's cool. That is cool. They even got the seatbelts crossed. I haven't had to cross seatbelts since flew corporate, but there's a couple airlines you still got to do that if you're a pilot. JetBlue. Are you a vampire? This is suspicious. Exactly, David. Exactly. Look at this seat all the way back. So I can hear the sound changing back here. I don't know if maybe that's the engines. But I mean, this row, God, could you imagine being in this seat right here? Last row, middle. This gives me anxiety just sitting here, being locked in here. It's pretty cool though. You get the flight info on the back of the chair. Love that. Little details. That's absolutely loved it. Peter says, I've paid for a window seat on EasyJet tomorrow morning. Worth it as I'm an av geek. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. The DC-10 had 252. Scott, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe that's what it was, 252. When I fly, I find myself frustrated I won't be able to scan the instruments. Do you know? Yeah, no, well, so technically it should recline vodka, but about scanning the instruments, too used to flight simming. So, funny thing, you know, obviously as a kid and even a young aviator, whether I was an instructor or flying corporate stuff, basically before I became an airline pilot, I enjoyed sitting in the back of the airplanes. Like, I enjoyed it. Now, I actually would rather just sit in the jump seat than either have a window seat or an aisle seat. Like, there's something about it now. I don't know if my wife says it's control issues, but it's really not, because it's not like I'm scared. I just don't like it. I just feel out of the loop. I want to be in the loop. So I don't know, maybe it is a control issue, but like anytime we have to go fly, and like, I think we're going to hop on a flight tomorrow or Monday. We're taking the fam out to Georgia. We're going to go into Atlanta. So maybe I'll see if I can ride the jump seat even after buying a ticket. Who knows? I don't know. Something happened to me after I became an airline pilot. I would rather sit up front. Callie Simmer with the $10 super chat. Thank you for that, man. He says, fun story. I'm fixing my kids' French toast this morning for breakfast, and I look at the clock and tell them, hurry up and eat. V1 is about to start his stream. My kids are used to it now. Callie Simmer, that's hilarious, man. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. We did pancakes this morning. We did pancake Saturday. But I can feel you, man. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for your support. It means a lot to me, man. It means a lot, dude. Appreciate you. Al W says, our DFW to Honolulu honeymoon, we had 242 on the back row, center two seats against the rear bulkhead. Friggin' standby draw. Al, exactly. Only someone who's flown standby knows would come up with that comment, right, Al? I mean, you're absolutely right, man. This is where middle seat, last row bulkhead is typically where you're going to get seated. Now, when the wife and I, we took a vacation standby, and we were on a 300 A300, and I believe we were, speaking of bulkheads, I thought we were going to get very far in the back, but we were bulkhead up front. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, which it wasn't too bad. Now, I don't know what kind of cabin layout this is. Maybe this is a 310 specific. This seems like a lot of wasted space here, but that's what they did back in the days. It wasn't about cramming seats in. It was about passenger comfort and being prestigious. But nowadays, they look at that like, oh, we could fit 6 more rows right there. Let's go ahead and do that. If the airlines could get away with standing room only, guarantee you they would do it. Yeah, we had seats like this. So on the airplane we had, it was this was a bulkhead, not a curtain right here. So we were like, which it was all right, wasn't bad. But we did, I think we went LA to Honolulu on a 300. I think it was an A300 bulkhead, but I can't really see out there. We got bumped to Honolulu. When they call your name, you know the deal. Oh, yeah. Got lucky to Tokyo. 200 open standbys? Dude, that's awesome, man. 200. That's pretty good. Yeah, this seat would be exciting, too, right? How'd you like to look at this for 7-8 hours? Don't even get a screen. You'd have to look. They'd probably have one of those drop down, like old school screens up here. Not even the drop down, just the old. You guys remember the before they had drop down monitors, they actually had like mounted TVs that just would that would hang down, old, like pixelated. Most of you kids probably don't even know what I'm talking about, but we were like, oh yeah, so you get a stiff neck watching a movie on the way over to Hawaii or something. Projectors going even further back, yeah. Remember those partially standing seats they were thinking about a few years back? Oh, yeah. You know, it didn't catch on yet, Peter Green, but I wouldn't rule it out, my friend. I wouldn't rule it out. Vikas, what's up, man? Good evening from Europe. Watching stream while on my way home driving a car. Hey, well, keep your eyes on the road, but thank you for tuning in, man. I don't know. I just looked over. For some reason, sitting here on this middle seat looking at a bulkhead, we gained to like 370 viewers, so hey, I appreciate y'all clicking on this live stream to look at a bulkhead in the middle seat. You don't get that kind of entertainment anywhere else on YouTube. Welcome to the V1 Bulkhead stream, where we tell stories about non-revving across the world in terrible seats. This would be one of them. I should just leave this view here, see how long it is until the numbers start falling off on concurrent viewers. Jeremy says, notice the light bulb buttons, the FA call buttons are flush even in this. Yes, yeah, right here. So you're absolutely right, Jeremy. Now, I was on a 321 last week, and that panel had 2 separate like bulbous buttons, and one was for the flight attendant call, one was for the light. But I get what you're saying. If you're visually impaired, you'd have no idea which one is which, because it's just a little symbol. One's a light bulb, one's a flight attendant, and they kind of look the same symbol-wise. So, you know, probably get in trouble for saying that. But anyway, but yeah, I hear you, man. Like, I don't know why they don't have that. Or they don't have, and I'm surprised. Like, there's not even a little bit of braille or anything up there. You know, like that is very interesting. Here's our first class. Now I know we don't have enough for all the members that we've been gifted today on this stream, but this is where all my Team Greens are sitting. That's kind of a. I've sat here too. You get like a stiff neck because you're trying to see the engine the whole time, and your neck's like all twist and turn. Always wanted to fly a 7.5 when I was a kid because they were the only planes with TVs regularly on domestic flights. Yeah, I know the feeling. I remember that. I remember the TVs were such a big deal back in the day. Like when those drop down screens. You're like, oh, am I gonna get a drop down screen in front of me? So going back to when I was a kid. Oh, now I got to go back on this side. Oh, I'm getting lost in my cockpit views. But basically, you wouldn't know. There we go. I'm gonna come back here. So like. Even on like the 7.3, on the 7.3s and stuff, you'd be sitting in your seat right here, and you wouldn't know which row had the TV screen. So if you had a bad seat, you were either directly underneath the screen that would drop down, or you look at the screen that dropped down like way over there. So basically it renders your in-flight entertainment not very enjoyable because you can't really see that one, and you don't want to look straight up at the one that's dropped down right over your head. I wonder if those old window shades would get stuck. Probably, Jeremy, probably. Oh, is this Oh, so anybody know why there's no window right here? Is this where I think we are? Oh, actually, I don't think it would be there. It should be more like right here. So the 7.3 and even the Airbus, they have a, maybe not the 7.3. I know the Airbus, there's no window right next to the N1 blade. So if you have an uncontained engine failure, it doesn't come into the airplane and kill you. So it's a reinforced siding on the 320s, right where the N1 blade. And typically an engine failure, if you think about engine failures, these engine cowlings have to be rated to contain any type of blade failure that would happen. So if an N1 blade flies off, this cowling needs to contain it. Now, even if it doesn't on the 320, you have a reinforced siding right there that would stop, in theory, anything from coming into the cabin. Now, I would imagine Boeing has something similar, but just not too long ago, there was that 737 Southwest that had an uncontained engine failure, and that lady was killed, but she wasn't killed from the N1. So the airplane did its job. It was she got sucked out, right? Was that what happened? I think it was because she actually got sucked out of the airplane, or partially or something. Tragic story, man, just awful. But that's why if you're walking down on an Airbus, just look on any 19, 20, 21, if you look right where about the N1 blade sits, remember, it's not necessarily the front of the engine. It's going to be back a little bit, almost right about here where this row of rivets is. That's where that N1 blade is, and that would be the potential if you sling a blade come through the cowling. The blade got her through the window. She got partially stuck. Yeah, so I think, yeah, the blade made it through, but it didn't actually, I don't think that's what killed her, right? It was because she was partially sucked out, and maybe it was a combination. I mean, either way, just treacherous, horrific, absolutely horrific. But yeah, sad story indeed. Let's come up here. Let's do another fuel check, fuel hack. We are 5:23 to go. Fuel prediction page, week 10.4. So we're still trickling down. That's not the best. I like to rather see those numbers go up. But I think maybe because we're not on live weather. Should I turn on live weather? See what happens? That might screw us up here. We'll see. Or we can just keep cruising. I mean, we don't really have any headwind, which is nice. Man, this is out over the water, man. Just calm as could be. Go for it, Chaos says. Let's see. Now, if I go here, this says we're still live. But let me go in here. I know I did it in settings. So we'll go general options, and we'll go data, and then we'll go on. Now, I don't want that. Apply and save. Now, this might take a minute to load, so bear with me. And once we load in, we'll load in. I'm actually going to take a lab break anyway. So we'll load in. We'll make sure the airplane doesn't crash itself. There we go. Go back. Resume. Whoa. We see the big pressure change there. So that's all right. Airplane's going to do its thing. A little bit of a crosswind. So the winds have updated. That's good. We'll just do a step climb. Hey, let's do a step climb anyway since we're climbing. What is our max? Our optimum is 36. Let's take it up to 360. So I'm going to set 360. In the altitude window, 360 is set, and we'll set 360 here. And we are profile climb, so we should climb all the way up to 36. That might help us save a little bit of gas too. So we're doing a step climb. Out over the wild blue yonder. Trying to see why it looks like my VAMSys didn't reconnect us, unfortunately, which sucks. Let me check the online version. So we're out between the Cayman Islands and coast of the Honduras. If I reboot VAMSys, does that mess things up? Anybody ever had that issue? If I reboot VAMSys, it might mess things up, huh? Yeah, I did start FS2 at PC, but maybe something got messed up. Who knows? All right, so there's 35, so we need to do another profile climb to 36. Profile thrust, profile climb, 360 is blue, so we're going to keep on going up. And we're going to be burning more gas here. Man, what a beautiful day, though, out over the water, huh? This is the kind of day that I like to fly over the water. You don't have to worry about thunderstorms, deviations, any of that. I take it Xbox good quality, or isn't good quality in the cockpit. It's good, but it's not going to be the same level that you see on PC. There is a PC enhancement pack. Now that might be, that might be a temporary thing. Maybe there'll be something that comes in the future, updates furthermore. But unfortunately, I really don't have any console experience or advice for you. I would say, honestly, if you are on Xbox and you are liking the airplane as is, and you're like, man, I could get into this high fidelity airliner stuff, consider switching over to PC, because you never know, you might just like it that much more. Jungly Sim, what's up, man? Good to see you. And there you go. iniBuilds in chat says we're bumping up the Xbox textures to higher resolution with the next patch. There you go. There's your answer. So disregard everything I just said about going to PC, but you should check out the PC side of things too, because it is awesome. Just rewatched the approach in LaGuardia. Vodka was so mad. I know, dude. Rip. He was it was a spicy one. It was a spicy meatball. Al says, I'll never forget having to get up at 4 a.m. to go to the ticket counter in the tunnel between the hotel and terminal at DFW just to get listed on a flight with 2 seats available. Yep. Just to get listed. You don't even know if you're going to make it, man. I know. 4 a.m. Oof. I'm staring down the face of possibly commuting again. But that's also why I am looking at something in Atlanta on Monday. So there might be some changes coming to the V1 HQ and the V1 channel for sure. Maybe not the channel necessarily, but there might be some significant changes coming for myself. Does this airplane have approach phase when flying profile? Approach phase. What do you mean by that? Like being on approach? So you can activate a final approach when you put the MDA in the McDo. But you got to remember, these airplanes it's not as technically as advanced as like the 320s where you just app nav it down. The profile nav and speed are not as, what's the way to put it? Like are not as bulletproof as your modern day 320s. So yes, it can do it. It can be certified for it. I believe we're even certified for Cat 3 in this one. I'm almost certain we are. Yeah, we got 2 autopilots and all that. So you can do Cat 3 auto land. But from what I recall, and I remember like when I first released the 300 for X-Plane, I was watching a real A300 pilot talking about the airplane, and he said basically the guys that tried to fly it like the narrow body were the ones that were screwing stuff up on the approach, because it's just not as a robust profiling system that you get with a VNAV, LNAV in the 320 series. Not saying it can't do it, but it's just not as robust. You got to have things set up correct order more specifically, and so that's kind of my roundabout answer of saying I don't know. But the biggest thing I take away from that is don't try to fly it like a 320, because you're probably just going to get into issues. Babysit it. Use the step down altitudes. One thing about that profile descent, we did a pretty perfect VNAV profile descent the other day, so it can do it. It works, no doubt. But you just got to be Johnny on the spot. You got to do a little bit more monitoring. All right, let me look at my plan view here real quick. We're going to start with this thing again. I'm going to step through. So right now, speaking of that approach, I know we're a little ways out, but I want to just see what we got loaded in here. So you'll be able to see, we're going to do a profiled VNAV descent here. We're going to do this full profiled VNAV descent. We'll see how good we can make it happen, but that'll be a good time to check out as well, because we'll see. We got several restrictions in here with speeds, so I will do my best to fly that VNAV descent path. But then once we get down towards the ground, all bets are off, because I want to just hand fly. I want to go visual. We might do this like some rendition of the Cyrus visual fun thing is my airline, we just got approved for an RNP approach to take over the Cirrus Visual. So if we get the Cirrus Visual, up until now, up until recently, okay, I'm just going to switch offline because we're just going to keep doing this back and forth thing. We used to have to manually program, like I've showed you on stream before. You got to get in the secondary, put in the box, all the fixes and the altitudes and all that stuff. But now, with our new approach that we've got custom for us, we got a custom RMP in there. We just load that sucker up and just LNAV, VNAV all the way down, which it's super boring, but it's safe, and you got to be safe because nobody knows how to fly airplanes anymore. We're all children of the magenta line now, so you got to. And I mean, it's good for the better. It's better for the advancement of aviation safety. It's just not as fun, you know. Like very rarely are fun things very safe. You know what I'm saying? Like doing a freaking Kitech checkerboard approach in a 747-200, probably not the safest thing to do with your career. But it was done successfully over and over for years. Then they eventually like, hey, let's build a whole new airport because this is probably not going to end well at some point. So, my take on it. Can't figure out which wing view. I like this wing view the best, I think, right now. I'd recommend taking a look at an RNAV approach at some point. It's very involved and very satisfying to pull off. Ew, very interesting. iniBuilds, I will do that indeed. I will do it with an approach that I'm familiar with. I'll start with that one. I don't actually think, let me look at my charts here. I actually have my real world iPad with me today, so I got my charts here for MROC. Off the top of my head, did we even have any RNAVs? I know we've got some RNAVs, but do we have any for one? No, so I've got the RNP, my company RNAV for 2.5, and then I've got the Cirrus Visual. I've got an RNP 7, but that, from where we're coming in, might just be straight in, which is kind of, I don't want to fly straight in. We'll do like an RNAV into, where's a good RNAV? Up in the mountains, there's some good ones there. Up like by Colorado, Reno. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to put you guys on outside view. So I'm going to run over and use the laboratory. Which view should we look at? That view's pretty good. We'll get the sounds down a little bit more. We'll get some more tunes on. I am going to take a quick lav break, stretch my legs, get some more water, and be right back in about 2 or 3 minutes or so. Let's get the cruise tunes on here. All right, I'll be back. Give me about 2-3 minutes or so. Oh, yeah. My wife is on the way with Starbucks. Even better. Even better. All right, I'll be right back. Give me a couple of minutes, guys. All right, where we at? Where we at, chat? We're back. Let me get this off there. Mike V, what I missed? Mike V, thanks for the $2 super chat, my friend. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you. What you got in your profile pic there? Is that a Piper Arrow Archer? Something of the Piper Nation? Thank you, man. Appreciate you. We're still asking for liveries, huh? Man alive. I get it. It's okay, Mauricio. Look, you're not the... Hey, trust me, you're not the only one to ask for a livery today. It's just... It's kind of funny because there's probably been about 472 people asking where you get liveries from. And to be honest, I wouldn't have known off the bat either. You know, my Discord members were like, hey, you got to go here and get the liveries, livery manager. It's like, oh, okay, that's a good idea. So don't worry about it, man. It's just funny. We're just having good fun here. What do we got? 364 miles. We are getting there, folks. We are getting there. I washed my hands. Yeah, I did. I just took a leak, rinsed my hands, and I actually brewed a little coffee because my wife, she's delayed, man. Our crew meal has been delayed, so it may not arrive until we're on the descent, which then I'm really going to be jacked because I have this coffee that I just made, which I made an all black espresso. So Godspeed. I'm going to be up for a while. Anyway, Captain, howdy people. Tornai, what's up, man? Good to see you. For aerial survey, Piper Arrow 2. Nice, man. For aerial survey. Cool, dude. 360. God, I just love this airplane being rock stable. Let's attempt to go back online because we're going to start going over ground. So let's see what happens. We'll go back to the online version here. Might have a little airplane hiccup as before, but we'll see. Hopefully, maybe if the issues calm down. There we go. A little bit of a... Did I even apply that? A little bit of a tailwind with that. I think I applied it. A little bit of bounce going on there. I can't believe they added the Wright brothers plane. So there's been a lot added that I wasn't even aware of. I was just so blown away with the 310. So I guess you have the Wright brothers plane. There was a Spruce Goose is there. Is that there? And then there's a DC-3, which I think is really neat. But where do you guys want? Let's do like a little. Let's come back. Where is this? Let's jump seat this be. Where are you at? Right here. Oh my gosh! I found something that doesn't. That's not modeled, guys. Actually, no. The jump seat doesn't slide out on the 310, or does it? I don't remember. I can't put the jump seat down. Uninstalling. Uninstalling. Just kidding. Let's do a little jump seat view. Look at that cockpit, huh? Should be a beautiful approach. Doing good. Thank you. Totally took the 310 for a ride. But we had the issue with the online servers and a non-drawable. Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you think of... I mean, it's technology, right? But, man, the song always comes back on. I like it, but I'm over it. What's Papaya Island? That sounds fun. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like, the update is such a big deal. The market has grown so big. Everyone's so jacked about it in the 310 and some update 11 that it's crashing Microsoft servers, which I guess they don't have the history of being the best. But, I mean, they are, like, it's Microsoft, though. Like, it's crazy to think about it. It sounds like a cocktail, exactly. How much is GSX Pro and is it worth it? Ah, Skytime. I just saw Jungly's text or message too. Transatlantic with a Spruce Goose. You let me know how that works out for you, Jungles. Is GSX worth it? Look, if you are going, it's growing on me a lot. It's growing on me for the fact that the pushback is pretty cool. You can get a proper pushback tug. What really changed my opinion is when I saw they have de-icing simulated. Now, it's pretty rudimentary. It just comes and does the wings for you, but it's better than nothing. And it adds that little extra cherry on top. You know, I wouldn't say it's a must-have add-on, but it does add a little bit of pizzazz to your flight, no doubt about it. So it doesn't, I don't think it natively works with any airplanes as far as actually changing weight and balance and stuff, maybe with some of the default airplanes, but like for the Phoenix, which I use it a lot, for this airplane, I've used it. It just, I use it for visuals. So if you want something to actually be manipulating the CG and all that real-time loading, it's not it yet. Could it be in the future? Maybe. Maybe. But it's, I mean, look, if you've got $29 burning a hole in your pocket, you probably won't be mad that you bought it. But I also have a jaded opinion because I was used to it in P3D, where it was a total game changer in P3D. I'm hopeful that it will become that in Microsoft. But it's not game changing yet, in my opinion. It is a little bit of a faff, Duffman. You sound like you're from London. Gonna have to try out Detroit this winter and request de-icing on the pad. Oh yeah, Lauren. For sure. Isn't there a Detroit... Oh, I think I saw a scenery release, but it's for X-Plane. It's $29, okay, so you'd say it's worth it. I hate telling people that something's worth it or not, because everybody has a different financial status, right? A different, you know, what may be expensive to someone may not be expensive to someone else. And we all work hard for our money. And it's like, you don't want, my biggest fear is like promoting something that somebody wouldn't like, and then they don't enjoy it, and it's like you wasted money. Because I've fallen victim to that too. I mean, you get people that are paid to review products, right? And I'm not just talking flight sim, just in general. And you watch, oh, this looks really good, and then you get it, and you're like, oh, that's kind of crap. You feel like buyer's remorse. So I never want to put someone in that position. GSX is what it is. It's a visual add-on right now that adds a little spice to your sim. That's pretty much what it is. If that's worth $30 to you, then you'll enjoy it. You're not going to hate it. It is the menus though. The menus are finicky. You got to restart, unstart. It's just it's finicky. It's quite the faff. Orbix doing Detroit. That might have been it, Mike. Just a race says, what do you mean GSX is not game changing? It suplexes your plane after pushback. Would you consider visiting Des Moines International, Des Moines, when I release my payware for Q2 23? Michael Little, of course, man. I have gone into Des Moines quite a bit. I actually have, you know what, was it Des Moines, Iowa, or was I? I'm trying to remember. I have a funny overnight story. Well, not funny, an interesting overnight story. I can't remember if it was Des Moines or... where's that other like middle of nowhere college town that they party like crazy with all the... Maybe it was, oh no, that was Omaha. Omaha, Nebraska was one. And I've also been to Des Moines. I do like Des Moines. But yeah, of course, man. I think I flew Washington, D.C. to Des Moines, Iowa in an Embraer 170. Or excuse me, Embraer 175 for the Mesa drivers. If you're having trouble finding liveries, make sure you have the INI Manager V2. So I will tell you that. I had the V1 on my desktop. Not there. You got to get the V2. So click the link on the pinned message, or click the link right there that just pops up. Download the latest and greatest V2. It's important that it's just a V2 version. Andre, I do have the freeware Detroit from Microsoft. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I'm a fueler in the morning, so if you're around, look out. Will do, Michael Little. Will do, dude. Oh, look, we are feet dry. I wish I knew where we were now. This is coming over Honduras, right? How are we looking as far as mileage? 302, only 50 miles to TOD. Or not TOD, but 250 out. What's PZA? So MHTG is actually right off the right out there somewhere, Vodka. Where you wanted to go, it's not too far. It's out that way. Honduras. We are feet dry, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever flown to Madeira, Portugal? And sim, yes. Real life, no. Just took the 310 up for the first flight now. Had to turn the graphics way down before I fly the fly-by-wire. Lots of FPS drops on the 1660. but it feels incredible. Yes, Flight Sim School. So iniBuilds actually joined the chat earlier. They brought up that they're investigating an issue that might be causing frame issues, and you're not the only one. I noticed it specifically. I didn't notice it in INI Buffalo, but I noticed it in the INI LAX, and I noticed it today in the Latin VFR Miami scenery. On the ground, my frames were rough. But once I got airborne, everything was fine. So there's something going on, and I think they're aware of it and they're investigating. Look at this. I just noticed this too. Look at the glass. Actually, if I go to my drone cam here, let me do this. Let me go drone cam. Whoa. Meow. It actually has, you could see the glass. That's pretty cool. I guess I don't want to say we're all accustomed to that, because in X-Plane that's hard to do. You can actually see this is an actual wing tip here with the light inside. That's cool. I mean, I don't know how hard it is to model that, but it looks like that's something that would be simple, but would just be a pain in the butt to get right. That's pretty cool though. So you got your strobe, your nav light. It looks like you got 2 bulbs there. I mean, this airplane, I mean, that's just, I mean, INI does not disappoint. Look at the details on the tail. Look at this. Look at that. Look at the grease coming off the grooves here. Are you kidding me? I guess this is part of Alayubi. This is an Alayubi livery. He's a stud. Love the flag up there, man. You guys know I don't love white liveries. Majority white liveries, I think they're boring, but Pan Am is just classic, man. This is so... that's just awesome. Look at that view. That's kind of a cool view to sit on. You were at 14 FPS on final to JFK. Ouch. Santiago says, this is a good point. I had GSX and P3D as well. I tried 1 or 2 months in Microsoft and I ended up uninstalling. There you go. Yeah, it's nowhere near what it was, man. We'll wait for development. Why were the windows sized differently on the inside? We see the front windows are way smaller than the side windows, but they look as big in the flight deck. Why are the windows sized differently on the inside? We see that the front windows are way smaller, but they look as big in the flight deck. Not sure what you mean. Could this plane satisfies mid-market demand? No, burns way too much fuel, dude. Way too much fuel. And way more efficient airplanes out there. I have not tried the DC-3. I was talking to Peed Monitor about it, though. And I think I'm going to try it. LAUB GOAT. Yep, indeed. Tyler Smith, thank you for the continued support for 15 months, my friend. Big up, V1. Thanks for all you do for the community. Thank you, Tyler Smith, for the support, my friend. Thank you for stopping by, hanging out with us on our way down to San Jose, Costa Rica. Look at the reflection of the fuselage on the wing of the fuselage logo. Yeah, dude, it's stupid, man. It's yeah, right here. You can see the letters. You guys see that? On the reflection of, oh my goodness me. That is next level juice. Unreal. I have one more question about GSX. Does it take a lot of frames? I haven't noticed much frame issues with it because you're really only going to use it when you're at the gate, right? On the ground, you're not moving. So even if it does take a few frames away from you, it's only when you're stationary. It's not going to be a big deal. So I wouldn't let that be a deterrent. If you try it, don't forget to install the enhancement pack for the DC-3. Oh, there's an enhancement pack for the DC-3 as well? Pascal Hands, I will make sure to do both then. DC-3 needs head tracker? Yeah, I'll have to get my track IR fired up. Tranquil breeze, we're bobbing up and down like we're at sea. We're bobbing up and down like we're in a tranquil breeze up here at 360, my friend. Thing is, airplanes move and cruise, you just don't feel it because it's 1G. Alright, there is our top of descent. So I'm going to put the constraints on, and I actually need to... Oh yeah, we're 256 miles. We're just about ready to start down. Let me pull up the arrival on my actual iPad here. It's my real world charts. Malt tester, I don't understand DC3 enhancement. Still can't open. Did you install, then restart the sim? That might be something you need to do. So the Barra 3 Papa, we're off of Piras, max 280 knots, 240, 16. So the bottom altitude for this arrival is colon at 8,000. Wow, that's interesting phraseology, but colon at 8,000. Let's come down here. This has Barra, Otina, OC, oh no, Carba. All right, so we have a discrepancy. TIO, FDO7. What is that? Oh, this is getting me set up for the Loke. Loke Zulu 7. Yeah, Carba is there for the Loke. That'll be fun. We're actually going to set up for the Loke, and we'll break off for the visual. So 109, I don't know why I even want to do this to myself. 109.5. How's the weather in Texas today? It's quite freezing, my friend. I was frozen this morning. 109.5. 071 is the course we need to be on. We're also going to dial in some other information here on these VORs for situational awareness. VORs, El Coco VOR, that's an important one to have. We're going to put that on 15.7 on VOR 2. Why can't I tune it? Hold on, hold the phone here. Alright, I know. Is it something in here? Is there a RadNav page? Is it because I'm in nav mode? It won't let me adjust these? I wonder if it's because I'm in nav mode. Have I had any CTDs while on approach or final? No, I have not had any CTDs, knock on wood. VHF, NDBs, ADF. Can we do an ADF on this one at all? Don't see any ADFs that we need to tune in, so that's all right. Weird though, and I can't tune. Can't tune that. Fix info. Is there a fix info in the 310? That's a good question. Let's find out. Star hold, airway, via go to, company route, no. Not there. L1, a pseudo point not allowed. Okay, okay. What about a vertical? This is a vertical restriction, no. Nothing I want to do there. Step predictions. Yeah, I was just curious, iniBuilds, for manually tuning a VOR, do I have to not be in nav mode? Oh, wait a second. Wait a second, right here. Boom. Now we're cooking with gas. There we go. I remember now. 15.7 is the Coco VOR. 15.7, we're going to dial that in. 15.7 is dialed in for reference. That's El Coco. And as far as the Cirrus visual, the 2.5, I need to have a radial for Ipabe, which is 093. Basically, when this is centered, that means I should be turning final. Have that as a backup ready to go. And it doesn't hurt to have both of them tuned in, I guess, right? So I got to do it to the FO side as well. So we'll go VOR mode up here as well. And we'll also dial in 15.7. iniBuilds says for navigation person, nav switch must be in VOR, or for reference, you can manually tune one via ident on prog page. Okay. So we can do it on the prog page too? For reference. Alright, well I'll do this just in case we have to nav off of it. I don't think we will though. Well, let me double check. Yeah, I guess prog page would make sense, right? Prog page. Oh yeah, we can put in the VOR right here. Which, why not? Actually, no, I'm going to leave the runway, I'm going to leave the airport reference point in there for distance because El Coco is not quite on the runway. So I'm going to leave that as a center fix. So we're set up. We're going to do the arrival down. We'll come in for 7, and then we will break off for the Cirrus visual, which if you haven't seen this approach, it's pretty wild. EPABE mandatory at 4,000. Which I'm not building it in the secondary, which theoretically, I bet you I could build it in the secondary, but we're not even going to mess with it today. But we are looking good. Andrew, what's up, man? I'm good. How are you? Yeah, enhancement pack bugs. Check out these textures, my friend. I mean, look at that. Just the little teeny details on each switch. Love it. Oh. I got the door open. Do I have to actually shut the door? Stop it. The cockpit door actually works. Aha, I can't force unlock it though. Uninstall. Just kidding. That's crazy. I mean, I love that stuff, man. I love little details like that. Alright, so we're locked in. This is our striker. We won't talk about that. We got a wind readout up here. Magnetic winds. Look at that. Track ground speed 194 at 481. Sweet. We'll just keep it on heading right now. Everything else looks good. Hydraulics are green. Doing a little. Fuel is looking good. Oh, we're about ready. We're about ready to start down, y'all. Oh, field elevation. That's a big one. Especially since it's 3,000 feet. Probably should have done that before takeoff. I wonder if this is going to mess with our pressurization schedule. Field elevation 3027. So we'll do it like 30 and a half. Let's double check our pressurization knob down here. We're fine. We're holding that 7,000, 8 delta P. Cabin is not changing. We're looking good. Make sure our fuel is balanced, which we already looked at the overhead, but everything looks good there. We do have fuel in the trim tank. CG's moved aft. Love it. If only there was some kind of checklist system. Exactly, Chaos. Nah, the checklist, guys, if you haven't... I didn't even think about it. It has a fully implemented checklist here. We have the... I guess we can look at the descent preparation checklist. ECAM memo, status, weather obtained, landing set, fuel check, FMS as required, decision height. For reference, we will do... Let's just do 1,000 above field. So we'll do 4,000, which that I always forget now because it's so high. I guess we'll do a DH. We'll do a DH of 500 above field. So we'll just do. We'll just set it at 200 for maybe autopilot purposes. That would probably be a company limitation. We'll do it more. We'll do. Can I go up to 500? We'll do 500 AGL just for a reference. And I'll set this, but this would be MSL, so I would actually have to set... I actually don't know where I would set that. I think I would just leave it at 5, and then you would read 3,500 off of it there. Auto brake as required. Let's do low brakes. Jip whiz flap slat switch as required. We're going to do 30-40 because it looks cool. Approach briefing perform. We're going to hand fly it. Approach briefing complete. Any questions? No questions? Look at that. All right, I miss U.S. Airways. I always wanted to fly for them, but when they merged, I was broken heart and tears. Yeah, it was. I miss them too, man. Oh, we got some XP72 music has joined the chat. Yaman. My mind is still blown that this plane works in Xbox. I'm right there with you, Tyler Smith. I did not think it was possible either, man. You and me both. I have a question. Is this a normal field trip? Yes, this is a normal field trip for PVA, Piedmont Virtual Historical Group, real world Pan Am 300 route. We're flying it. Glad to have you guys with me. It's been a beautiful morning. Took off out of Miami. How about that? Miami scenery was stunning. Cruise out over the water. Not a cloud in the sky. Very few clouds. Setting up for a beautiful arrival into Costa Rica. Gonna go hit the beach. Gonna make some. What kind of drinks do they make in Costa Rica? Some Mai Tais? No, that's no. Wrong part of the world. Mojito? Anybody use a butt kicker? No, but I know if I've got a buddy that uses it. Phantom uses it, and he absolutely loves the butt kicker seat. Mike P's butt kicker is his wife. Touche, my friend. Speaking of which, I need to book my winter house in Costa Rica. Yes, sir, Team Vodka. Yes, sir. All right, I don't want to miss this top of descent. 80 miles out. $80 miles. Does the printer work? I don't believe you print anything, no. As a fly-by-wire fan, this plane makes me want to get the Phoenix. Why is that, man? What does this have to do with making you want to get the Phoenix? San Jose, Costa Rica is not on the beach at all. It's close, dude. We can drive to the beach, man. Costa Rica. Had a vacation out there. My sister, it's a funny story. My sister took she honeymooned in Costa Rica. When they got back, she lives in New York City. When they got back, there was a crab in their luggage. They kept the crab. It has been, they have like got a whole aquariums around him now. He molts every year, whatever it is. Thing is huge now. And it's been there for 7, 8 years now. 8-year-old crab from Costa Rica. Probably highly illegal to bring a crustacean through customs, but hey, they didn't find it either. So at least she's got it locked down, not getting out. Chuck Blake gifted 20 additional subs. Chuck Blake, my man, thank you for the support. Look at that. Jungly Sim picked up a membership. Mike Daly got one with you. McCrewfish, Harry, Sabries, Uros, a lot more. BD47, David, Ruben, Oblox Gamer, Jeff74, Matei, Thug Duck, Diego Sala, and a couple more that I couldn't pronounce. Guys, shout out Chuck Blake. Dude, thank you, my friend, for the additional 20 sub gifts. You are awesome, my friend. We're going to do some more members-only content. And you know what? We've had such an uptick in memberships because, yes, virtually the entire channel is green right now. And just you guys being so generous and helping each other out. We have so many members now that it does actually make, I mean, not that it wouldn't make sense to do it when you only have a few members, but I have to start doing, I can't ignore it anymore. We got to do more members only content. So I already do like the real world stuff and the separate channels and voice channels, but I really enjoyed the members only after party stream last night. We're going to do more of those. Not going to do one today because it's football. I got some things to do, but make sure you are keeping tabs on the Discord and on the community tab of the YouTube channel for the after parties that are members only. Thank you again. Appreciate that, Chuck Blake. Appreciate you, man. Jarrett says, doesn't have to be for today, but can you explain and fly into it to and from a VR? Just explain how to fly to and from. I know the concept. We'll love a small tutorial on one of your streams. Jarrett Hannon, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that very much, man. Yes, indeed. You know, and that would be a great thing to do for the King Air. Now, I'm going to link you a video here. I did a VOR tutorial I'm going to find it for you. It's old, but it might hold you over until we do one live. And you have a great point, and I've actually been looking at doing that. Here's the video. I'm going to link it for you right now. Here you go, man. Check that video out. It's old, it's cringy, but that might hold you over. But I will indeed do some more tutorial for basic navigation, whether it be RNAV, or excuse me, VOR nav, NDB nav, round gauge flying. So we'll knock that out on the next King Air stream. Thank you for your support. Also check out that video. Hopefully it'll help you out too. Chaos says, you think it makes sense to enable photogrammetry for descent? I do. I think we have it on, or did it automatically shut off? Let's double check. General options, data, everything is on. So we're on. We're holding steady, so we're good there. Good check though, Chaos. Need some podcasts too. Yes, and podcasts will be live. I like the live podcast version that we did. Might even do one of those. I can't do it tonight. We got TCU in Texas, man. We got to watch that game. Tomorrow morning, mid-morning, might be a great time to wake up to maybe a podcast and coffee in the morning. We'll see. I'm going to pause the alert box again for the studs that have dropped in the gifted subs. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Could do it with the BAE, yes. Do you know where the brightness lower ECAM? Yeah, it took me forever to find it, and it drove everybody crazy last night because we did a night flight. Right here. Your PFD. This is your PFD brightness. Oh, you want for the ECAMs? For over here? PED and panel. Left display, right display. Right here. Right here. This is your ECAMs. Right here. So that'll change the brightness for those, I think. Let's test it. Yep. Yeah, it took me almost the entire stream to figure out where the PFD brightness knob was. Right here. I believe I'm using DirectX 11. Hold up. We have a status. Oh, no. Looks like my coffee is not too far away. Better stop drinking the espresso. Is GSX hard to use? It's not hard. It's just, it's kind of glitchy to use, if I'm being completely honest with you. It's kind of glitchy, the way the menus work and stuff. But it's not hard. It's just kind of glitchy. I bet type-rated 310 people had a blast flying this thing. Oh, yeah, Final Light. I agree, and I think I come up with that example. Like, imagine firing this thing up at night, getting ready to go across the Atlantic in an old 310. Like, what a... True pioneers, man. True pioneers. I mean, I say this thing. Imagine it in, like, even older airplanes, but still. Awesome. Is there an application outside of Microsoft? Yes. It is like the Kutul manager or whatever. You start that too. You don't have to start it. Automatically starts for you. The Bow Bus. How bad is the Laminar 330? We're not going to... You don't need to cuss at me. We'll leave it at that. But I will say this airplane is everything that I think the Laminar 330 should have been. Like, even if it was just face value stuff, like no other hardcore systems model, just the basic systems, this is how the 330 should have turned out. And it's not. It's so far from it. So far from it. Oh yeah, that's better jam. It's the countdown jam. The intro jam. I guess we can't listen to that. Can't listen to that midstream. Skip. We only got a few more songs to go. This has kind of got a south. Oh, you know what we need? We need the Latin American vibe song from Jeremy Harvey before we start down. That's the song we need. Because we'll play that song and then it'll be about time to bounce, to start down. So let me find it real quick. I missed that countdown song. Where are we at? Where is it? Really? I can't find it. There it is. This song will get us in the mood for descent. 20 miles out. We'll set a step down altitude of, what's that first one there? 24? 24 is set. Profile speed, profile alt, nav. Here we go. I need an old EIS-1 CRT3090 variant someday in the future. Final Light, me too, man. Make it a CRT EIS-1 319. Yeah, Chaos, I'm actually going to maintain the descent here. All right. I'm going to let you guys enjoy this song. I'm going to grab my coffee, and then we're going to start down. All right. Did it start over or did it end? Dun, 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 dun. You feel the fever again. Oh, yeah. Devin Graham, welcome to Commercial Pilot. Glad to have you on board, dude. Vertical deviation is armed. Is it going to start down? It should start down, right? Or do I have to press a button? I forget. Always forget. Let's see what happens. Down we go. Wow, I couldn't have timed that any better. Profile descent, sounds are coming up. We are on the way down. A little bit high now, but we actually got terrain up. We got terrain up for the terrain down there. Here we go, folks. Pull the out knob. Ah, dang it. I totally screwed it up, man. I was looking at it. I should have pulled the out knob to arm it. Now we're a little high on path. We're going to scream down. I'm definitely, we are at idle, so we're retard. I think it's going to try to catch up to it, isn't it? I screwed it up. Vertical deviation, 1060. It's coming. It's catching up. It's catching up. Crack a little spoid brake. Nothing like cruising around for 2 hours and then dropping at 4,000 feet a minute. Jared Hannon, thank you for the support, man. Appreciate the $2 super chat. Just request KYH to Charlotte would love that. Thanks, man. Throw it in the Discord. I might have to check it then. Appreciate the support, dude. Thank you. Alright, we're 500 feet off profile now. We're catching back up to it. Stow speed brakes. And let's get the seatbelt sign on. That one's having a hard time to catch back up to it. A little bit more speed brake. Come on. How can you see your descent rate? Your vertical speed. Vertical speed right here. Alright, so we are almost on profile now. 100 feet. And we also need to slow to 280 knots. Dang. Alright, so we're on profile. Stow the speed brakes. Back to profile speed. We're looking good. Yeah, those clouds are in the Bing ortho. I'll be right back. Jeez, chaos ensued there, man. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, where are we at? We're way off. We'll set 12. We're also slowing to 280. Yeah, no, they're fine, man. My little girl, she came in with my wife, and then I was like, my wife was telling her we gotta go, and she didn't get to see me, so she was sad, but we're good. We're almost done. Everybody's good. Everybody's happy. Yeah, kids are okay. Yeah, it sounded. I was like, "What is that noise?" Sheesh. I thought someone fell and like hurt themselves, but no, she was just not happy she didn't get to see Daddy. So, all right, we're back at it. Let's get flight recorder up. Now we are definitely high on path. Yeah, we are. We're only about 3,000 feet high. Jess and Lee, thank you for the I'm not sure what that sign is. 1900. Oh, appreciate it. Thank you for the super sticker, man. Speed brakes till final. No, we'll be all right because we're actually gonna break off too because we got to do the circle. Great time to do a hold and see how that works. We could input a little hold somewhere. What if we hold at OC 507? I mean, we're only 1,700. We're catching up to it, though. I mean, look, speed brakes out. We are catching up to it. Look at that, 1,600. And it's at or above 14, so we're technically not illegal. It might be, and we're below 17, so we're going to be fine. We're going to be just fine. South Korean won. Thank you, Andre Henry. Appreciate you. Appreciate it, Jess and Lee. Thank you for the won. That's what it was. People probably said we're going to go see Daddy. Yeah, I think it was something like that, and then it was supposed to just be a handoff of the coffee, but my little Layla, she did not want to do that. Gonna need a barrel ref here. So out of 17.5, let's pull up the weather. Let's see if I can. I don't want to request a METAR from the box. That is a known bug. MROC is light rain? That can't be right. No SIG, 2,999. That can't be right. 2,999 is set once, twice, and it's set over there 3 times. That's good. We're catching up to the vertical dev. We're going to slow to 250 here as well. Have you done texture upgrades? Yes, I have. The enhancement pack. Yeah, their ears were probably hurting because of the descent rate. That's funny, man. Exactly. Otna is at 10. We'll keep on scrolling down. 10,000. Because we're within the window. We're below 14 and 17. We're going to be a little fast. Let's go a little more speed brake. See if we can slow down. Hit this one here. It's alright. It's Costa Rican radar. It's not all that accurate. It's not like flying into Miami. Calling for rain? Is it really calling for rain? I'm not getting any rain on my sim right now. Interesting. It's probably all the crazy server issues. I think our photogrammetry is on. I can see some stuff down there. All right, what we need to do is we need to go. We're going to Barra 10 and 15. We're 12,000 to go. We're looking good. Graham, yeah, 727 for sure. Devin Graham. A little bit of chop coming in here now. All right, we're back on profile. We're 250, 11.8 for 10,000. And then we're going to break off manually. So for the visual, we can expect to break off at 4. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to manually select 250. I'm going to manually dial in 4,000. Actually, we're a little bit far out. Let's do 6,000. Let's do a auto thrust speed out, so level change down to 4,000 feet. No ATC, so we'll get all of our lights on right now. That's coming on, that's coming on, and that's coming on. Bring our zoom range down a little bit. So we are level changing down to 6,000 feet. Thank you, Smooth Flying. Hope you're well. Enjoying one of the few Airbus aircraft without a side stick. Yes, Smooth Flying. I love this Airbus without a side stick, believe it or not. Absolutely love it. Alright, so we're no longer doing vertical path. That's off there. That's fine. We're out of 10,000 for 6. Once we get the runway in sight, we're going to turn it off and hand fly. So maybe it's a good thing we don't have light rain. Live weather's all over the place. It can be all clear, but then 1 minute later I found myself flying in a thunderstorm. Oof. Alright, but this is for PVA, so we gotta make sure we grease this one. Still riding the brakes down a little bit. 2,000 to level off. I'd like to hit 6 and then slow down and then hit 4, but got a little chop coming over the mountains here. How do you call the cabin? Back in this airplane, you would probably do one of these. I don't know if there's a flight attendant cabin call up there. Surely there is. Surely there's a cabin call somewhere. Well, maybe not. Probably just open the door back in these days. Alright, let's dial in 210 now. We're leveling at 6. No, 210, 210. Don't speed up, don't speed up. 210. And we'll also set 4,000. Level change, 210. Just is coming back to idle. Is it on the radio panel? Maybe one of these. That's a good question, actually. Probably left the door open most of the flight. Yeah, no doubt. Oh, get rid of that speed brake. Flaps 15, or slats 15 is coming out. Ooh, I can see San Jose. Actually, I can see the airport. So it's 210 max. We are 160 at Cyrus, so we need to keep coming back. What is our speed limit for... See, I like when airplanes that have placarded flap speeds. So you don't have to memorize them. There's S. I mean, it is on the speed tape. There's S speed. 15 coming out. Love it. God, the flap sounds are awesome. Getting set up for the visual. Oh, it's on the gauge itself? Oh, yeah, it might be over there. Oh, and it's on the yoke. You're right. Oh, no, it's not. There's just some other things on there. All right, airport is in sight. So, what is our... Should have done that. 141. Let's give us an extra 5 knots. Let's do 140. I'm sorry, let's do 146. So we'll give ourselves a wind correction of 5. .5. We're going to hand fly this approach, which is probably not a smart thing to do. What the winds are doing, 340 at 4, pretty much out of the north. Alright, so autopilot is off. Auto thrust is on still. Commanding 160 knots. We're 2020 on the flaps. 2.2 from Cyrus, or from the VOR. We're going to start the turn. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go flight path vector on. Autopilot is off. I don't need the auto throttle. Get rid of all that information. And here we go. Oh, we need to start the recording now. Trim, a little out of trim there. Oh, it's still bumpy. Man, yeah, we're definitely getting some bumps here. Hopefully the weather doesn't load in. Alright, we are max 180, that looks good. Still 4,000, so we don't want to get below 4. Not yet. Right about now, a little bit further, we're going to go gear down here. We'll go gear down now. Speed brake is armed. We're going to start doing our final configurations here. Go flaps 30-40, starting to trickle down. Man, this is sketch with this airplane. I don't know why I do this to myself. Get an updated Barrow. 4100, I think we're still alright. We are getting bumped around though. It's not smooth air. Power, power, power. That speed just dropped off there. I guess that gear coming down. A lot of drag, a lot of drag. All right, let's start the turn. If we can pull this off, this will be a sweet replay. Trickling down. Keep coming down, keep coming down. We don't want to roll out and be high. It's very sketchy because you're flying over rising terrain, so the terrain is coming up to meet you. But when you turn away from it, you're going to end up being high. I'll give myself a little extra juice here on approach. Where's that runway? Oh, don't overshoot it. Overshot it a little bit. That's partially because I don't have track IR on, but that's all right. We're correcting. We're going to have a wind from the right. Correcting. We've got wind from the right, so that'll help us get back on center line here. Jeez. All right, now let's get a little fast. Correcting.
300.
Good night. Might get another sync right here.
Sync rate.
Check.
200.
We're going to be high on this one.
Sync rate.
Sync rate, check.
100. 15. 14. 13. 20. 10.
Come on, baby.
5.
Come on. Jeez. Just snapped the touchdown zone. We got lucky. We need more brakes. More brakes, more brakes, more brakes, more brakes. Brakes! 70 knots. Whew. Barely legal. We're gonna have to check the replay for the legality of that touchdown. Goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to San Jose, Costa Rica. Whoa, what an approach. Definitely recommend practicing that one. Hot brakes, yep. I would expect that. Barely legal, remember that website? Jeez. Wow, look, we got in just in time. Now the fog is rolling in, or the mist is rolling in. Well, good thing we flew cost index 99, because a couple more minutes, this looks like the weather might have loaded back in here. Let's clean it up. Let's go spoilers down, flaps retract, let's bring it into the gate. I kind of want to let the recording go all the way till we park, because it's fun watching the recording of the airplane parking. Hot brakes for a hot landing. Jeez, smash the like button for that approach, because that one, I was thinking about when I said I never crashed on stream. It came to mind, that's for sure. We were close, not close necessarily crashing, but that was spicy all the way around. There's no way to sugarcoat that one. The winds were just very shifty again. Is the runway long enough for the takeoff? Oh yeah, absolutely. You would have to mind your weight, and you would have to do a Toga most likely, but yeah, it's plenty long. But we're up here at 3,000 feet, so you got to keep that into account too. Look at the brake temps. I started standing on those brakes towards the end there. In real life, would that have been a go-around? Close. Depending on your SOPs, if you get more than, like, so I've been at airlines where it's been, you're allowed one JIP, where you're allowed one sync rate. I've been at airlines where you're not allowed any sync rates. Some, it depends on what altitude you're at. So we had, what, 2 or 3 sync rates on that one? most likely a go around, especially with the overshoot on final, a little bit fast coming out of the turn. But back in these days, the airplane didn't tattle on you, so who knows what would have happened. Roberto, what's going on, my friend? Roberto, I'm running the 737 throttles right now, and I'm loving it. I'm running the 7.3 throttle on this airplane, and it's juice, so I should get the cams up here pretty soon. I'm in your neck of the woods, man. Actually, no, El Salvador, a little bit further off, but still down here towards South America. How you doing, man? How does the handling of the 310? It feels amazing, man, and it's all about the energy management of the airplane. Like, you really, that is the biggest, in my opinion, that's like your biggest learning curve for this airplane. When you come to fly this airplane from everything else you've flown in the sim, the energy management is crucial, and combining that with the knowledge of your engines and how they spool up or whatnot. So here I am taxiing with all our freaking lights on. Nice lights, bro. There you go. So really gotta watch that. Oh, I love it, Roberto. I love it, man. The range of throw is just epic. Here we are. Pull it into the gate. Where should we go? We'll take 18 here. We'll take Hertz. I like the Hertz jet bridge better. Hertz rent-a-car. Alright, let's see if I can do this. I don't think that was terrible. A little bit of an undershoot. Not bad, though. We don't have a marshaller, so we'll marshal ourselves. Brakes are set. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to San Jose, Costa Rica. Let's get the flaps extended. Let's get into replay mode. That was cool. We're going to get you guys into replay mode. What was the landing rate on that? I believe this airport is payware. Bill Roberts, yeah, I love it too, man. Pan Am, dude. The legacy of Pan Am lives on. Roberto says mailing every week. Let's see. Oh, just not speed things up. Promise we'll send. We're sending the third batch of throttles this week. A bit delayed, but we're working over the clock. They're finished by hand. There are a ton of details. Exactly, yeah. So it looks like the third batch is being shipped very soon, guys. So if you did order a Throttletek, that'll be coming at you here very soon. Let's enjoy a replay or two here, and then it's time to go home. Time to go home and watch some football. Let's see how we do. So this is the circle. E-Boss, you're welcome, man. Thank you for hanging out with us, indeed. The flap gauge speeds are above and below the left altimeter. Really? I don't see him. I'm blind, though. Let's not be able to see him. All right, here we go. Here's our circle. Here is MROC. I'm going to speed this one up because we'll leave this one for the replay. We'll leave that one for like the long one. Let's get to the juice. Oh yeah, here we go. Engine's thrusting up. It was a 98? Wow. Look at those houses down there. That's awesome. The wing flexing in the turn should have been a little bit sharper in the turn there. I was a little fast on that turn. That's why we overshot as well. A little bit fast, higher turn radius. Again, still trying to get the energy management down on this airplane. That smoke's from everyone's brakes. coming in. Here we are. We're correcting. We got back on final. We had a nice little crosswind there to help us get right back on the center line. So that wasn't bad. We did get a sync rate right around here, though. Powering up, correcting. And then we went for the butter. We were fast over the numbers. Fast over the numbers and going for the butter is how you land long. So power came to idle pretty quick. But that extra energy, man, that's what I'm telling you. Ooh, a little bit of a tailwind according to that windsock, too. There was the aiming marker. Oh, we were in the zone. We were in the zone. Look at that wing deflex. That's so cool. Whew. All right, let's see exactly where we hit. Let's see for real how it was. Let me disarm the spoilers again. All right, let's see how we did. We got our volume low on the outside. So we're coming in. We were fast. I think we're like 150, probably 10 knots over. Working it down. Trying to get the butter. See that energy just carried me. Oh, that wasn't bad at all, though. I will take that. A little off center line there towards the end. Let me change the external sounds. There you go, look at that. How cool is that, though? I love this airplane. Alright, guys, I'm going to get sail going. V1 waiting to troll us again about the quality of our landings compared to his. Oh, yeah, I did troll you all a little bit the other day. That's, hey, members only, members only. That was the after party chat. Alright. Guys, thank you for hanging out with me on this unusual Saturday morning, afternoon. Appreciate you. Oh, I forgot to end the flight in VAMSIS. RIP. It is what it is. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you all for hanging out with me today. Thank you for all of the crazy support, the membership gifting, the donos, the super chats. You guys are all awesome. Thank you so much. Can't thank you enough for the continued support. I hope you enjoyed this flight with PVA from Miami down to San Jose, Costa Rica. Love this approach. This approach is just so much fun to fly. I highly recommend trying it out. And make sure you get that energy management down, because this airplane will punish you if you don't. Until next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, have a great rest of your weekend. I'm V1, signing out from the HQ. See ya!